Oh, that looks like me.
Tonight on the ISC Sports Network, presented by Endeavor Communications, it is a highly anticipated matchup between two teams in the same county. We have number 5 Cascade out of Class 3A, and receiving votes Danville, 13th in the poll out of Class 4A. Welcome everybody to tonight's presentation of high school football here in Indiana, presented on the ISC Sports Network tonight by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. Also presenting tonight's contest, LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Labor's District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And lastly, Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Welcome to Danville High School, everybody. My name is Rick Johnson, joined alongside by the legend Jan Bozier. And Jan, Week 2, getting ready to kick it off here tonight, and we have two teams with a lot of expectations, not only from Week 1, but also from last year as well.
Yeah, you and I got to talk with the coaches this week. What I like about it is they understand in their non-conference schedule they need to play really good schools, and that's what both these schools did last week. And I don't think there's a better game tonight in the whole state of Indiana. I'm prejudiced because we're getting to call it. But listen, that's all I've heard all week, and I talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of eyes on this game, Rick, and I'll tell you it should be a good one.
Let's look at Cascade, number 5 team in Class 3A. They moved up in the polls from the preseason. They've come in now winners of 11 of their last 12 dating back to last season, and they romped all over Monrovia last week. 48-6. Offense was fantastic.
It really was. They were balanced. They passed. They ran. The defense is really solid. Gave up just 6 points. This Cascade team, this is the year. This group of seniors there are a lot of seniors who have played a lot of football, and they know this could be the year.
On the other side for Danville, led by 6th-year head coach Jamie Comer, they took on another 3A team last week, number 3 Gibson Southern. They fell late in that contest, 35-28. We talked to Coach Comer. He could very easily see Gibson Southern and Cascade playing deep into the season, even though they came away with a loss. He's pretty proud of their effort.
Well, it was. Listen, that's a 3.5. That's a college drive to that game. And listen, they had him on the ropes right where you wanted. Fell a little short, but he felt really good about it. Coaches never like to lose, but I think he was comfortable with what his team did.
You look at the other side for Danville. They had the controversial loss a year ago in the opening round of the sectional against Rebuff. They come out tonight against Cascade. And renewing a matchup, these two teams, Jan, haven't played since 2018 as we jump into your keys of the game. Last time they met, it was a Cascade victory, 28-21. Coming into that game, Danville was 20-0 against the Cadets.
Yeah, and listen, and anytime you go to Danville, I've done Danville games throughout the years, done Cascade. It's two of the really, really great environment. New turf here at Danville, new scoreboard, and it's going to be a good game. Let's talk about keys of the game real quick. I think you got to get first downs tonight, meaning your offense got to stay on the field. You don't get first downs, you don't stay on the field, it can be a problem. And I really think these defenses are really good. So whichever defense can really get pressure, not just on the quarterback, but on receivers, they'll have a huge advantage. And listen, a game like this, you can't turn it over, and you can't beat yourself in penalties.
Danville did a pretty good job not turning it over last week. Cascade got a pretty decent handful of takeaways. Kickoff, and we are underway from the newly renovated and bright and shiny Warrior Stadium as Danville's offense will have the ball first. They're under the direction of their 6-foot junior quarterback, Carter Ward. 3-year starter, started off as a wide receiver last year. An injury in week 4 against Hamilton Heights to Connor Soper inserted Ward in there. He's had to do that back-to-back years with Soper getting hurt.
You know, listen, when both teams like this have these types of quarterbacks, you always got a shot. You just do. Now, it's not always on the quarterback's shoulders to handle everything, but you just know these two quarterbacks are really, really good, can do a lot of special things.
Soper under center, looking into the 3-4 look here for Cascade. Hands off to his fullback, plowing forward. That's Min Vu. So going to look at the rest of the Danville starting offense. We mentioned Vu comes in, had 553 yards rushing a season ago, had 5 carries for 48 yards last week. Ward at the controls. Also keep an eye out for Drew Rector. He had just 2 catches last week, Jan, but they were touchdowns of 71 and 70 yards.
Yeah, and they're going to need some of that today. We'll see what happens. But, you know, running game, and the coach even talked about that, really feels like this running game has got to produce a little better than it did last week when they only ran for 65 yards in that game.
Vu plows his way right back up the middle again. Toby Savini, who we'll see a lot on both sides of the ball. Top running back for the Cadets, also one of their top linebackers as well. There's the rest of the Cadets defense. Luke Farmer at the starting safety position. Last week had 9 tackles, 6 of them solo. Keep your eyes on TJ Turner, 12 tackles last week, and also had a pick 6. 3rd down and 4. Back-to-back carries here on the first 2 fullback dives up the middle from the 5'10 senior Min Vu.
Well, both teams will run the 3-4, so both defenses will look a lot alike on your TV tonight.
Another handoff to Vu.
Beautiful play.
Runs right into the waiting arms of Brody Duncan. JT Rochong helped him out, but Duncan, who didn't have any tackles last week, makes a big stop there on 3rd down.
Well, he's a senior, and that's another one of those really good seniors. You see how he had his head up. He used his legs, shed the blocker. That's a one-on-one play. As an ex-defensive line tackle, I can tell you, making a play like this is super, super hard. Look at him get rid of the block. It makes a one-on-one tackle. It doesn't get better than that.
So big-time stop there. But going forward here on 4th and 4 will be Danville. Throw out towards the near side, in and out of the hands of Liam O'Brien. And the first pass goes incomplete. It'll be turnover on downs. And you talked about it, Jan, with the defense having to step up there for both teams. Cascade answers the bell first.
Interesting call by Danville. They're listening. They understand what they need to do here. And they have enough confidence in their defense that field position took a little risk. And Cascade's going to get great field position. Yeah, he just took off. In a reception like that, Rick, you got to look at your hands, and first couple games or plays of the game, you're a little nervous, but everybody's going to get laser focused. You've got to catch that ball.
So here comes the wing T, no huddle, fast-paced offense for Cascade. Trebley hands off to the running back in the backfield. Again, Toby Savini, who we'll see a lot of tonight. Here, though, Dayton Mink, their senior fullback, he rushed for 2 touchdowns last week. Get a look at that Cascade offense. Brady Trebley at the controls last week in the win over Monrovia. 13 for 18 through the air, 201 yards, and 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, and they're a ball club that averaged 300-some yards on the ground last year. And if they can really complement that a little more with this passing game, that can make them just a little bit harder to stop.
Man in motion is Savini. They'll swing it out to him. The no-gloved running back with a nice sidestep move, trying to make more men miss. And look at the fancy footwork from Savini. Caught 3 passes last week. He rushed for over 100 yards. That'll move the sticks close to the 25.
Well, they like to get the ball in the hands of Savini. And that pass was perfect, although he kind of bobbled it. But it led him, and it led all his momentum with the catch.
Down to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 13 yards. They gave it right back to Dayton Mink, who head coach Connor Simmons called a physical, prototypical fullback.
Gain of 2 yards on the play brings up 2nd down.
Be 2nd down and 2. And again, If you haven't seen Cascade before, hold your breath because they move at a rapid pace. Last year, they averaged 46 points per ball game.
Boy, Cascade, they want this in the worst way. They were handed really good field position, and what you want to do here is make them second guess the next time they make a decision like that, your opponent. Let's see if this Danville defense could kick in here.
Give once again. Mink has got plenty of work. That's his third carry here of the opening drive. A whole host of Warriors were in there. Last one off the pile was Bryce Egan, one of the top tacklers for the Warriors.
Well, Danville gave up a few more points than they're accustomed to, but listen, it's against a really good Gibson Southern ball club. Don't underestimate how good that team is. Last year they gave up just 16 points a game. So this Danville defense, they had some places where they had to replace, but historically very solid.
Trebley quickly huddles under center. It's one of the new aspects this year for Cascade. They'll run a little more RPO out of the wing tee, a little bit of shotgun as well. Fake the handoff to Mink, give off to one of those wing backs. That's Savini. He's got some room to the outside. He's inside. Goal to go, trying to find the end zone. Finally shoved out of bounds by Griffin Hackelman, but Savini picking up right where he left off last week.
And defensively, and we're going to go in a hurry here, so we'll see what happens here. Get to the point here in a minute.
Goal to go from the 3. Mink tried to work it over the left side. Pulling him back was Trenton Sharkey, the backup outside linebacker. First one to come through was Hackelman, who just made the stop a moment before.
Rick, they literally tried to get going before the defense could get set, and it almost worked, and it does. They walk it in.
Trebley right up the gut from 1 yard away. First rushing touchdown of the year for the senior Brady Trebley, and Cascade cashes in on that great field position.
You know, I love this way of thinking. You have to be sharp when you play Cascade. You talked about what pace they play at, and they quite honestly caught Danville not really ready to go defensively.
Brogan Trump, 5'8" junior, on to add the extra point. He was 6 of 7 last week on the point after touchdowns. Out of the hold of Royce Bright. And the kick is up and through. So a 7-play drive that takes just 39 yards after the Danville offense turned it over on downs deep in their territory. Perfect start for Cascade. Rough one if you're Danville.
Yeah, you know, and Cascade will run a lot of misdirection stuff on the ground. And what that forces your defense to do is really read. And if you don't read and find the ball, it's going to be problematic for you.
Tonight's officials, by the way, referee is Mark Hopper, umpire Derek Carroll, head linesman is Lonnie Sapp, line judge Jay Slater, and the back judge is Michael Stoffers. So that 7-play drive for Cascade. Again, started at the 39. A lot of run plays, which you're not surprised to see out of the wing tee, but they had that big third down catch. That was by Savini coming out of the backfield that set up that goal to go situation.
Yeah, and I think they're just they threw the ball some last year, but I think they're super comfortable with a 4-year starter. And so they're going to just make you defensively really, really have to be alert for everything. When you talked about, you know, the pass run option, they do misdirection, they'll throw in the play option. And so as linebackers, you better have 8-year Wheaties and have your eyesight ready to go because they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at you.
Brogan Trump to kick this one away again. So a squib kick on the opening kickoff from Cascade. And Trump will boot this one deep. Had a touchback last week. And it'll be taken by one of the deep men, Trevor Lynch, here for Danville. Powers his way up through the middle, and we get a nice return out near the 30-yard line. And we'll see what the Danville offense has up their sleeve here for their second possession of the night.
Here's what happens when a team like Cascade takes advantage of great field position. Still early, only 7-0, but they start the pressure meter. They just kicked it in another notch. Now all of a sudden, if you're Danville, we can't do that again. It changes a little bit, not a lot. We'll see how Danville reacts to all this.
Pistol look for Ward with Vu, the deep man behind him. Another handoff to the senior running back, comes right up the middle once again and ran into the arms of Savini and also with Brody Duncan.
On the carry for your Warriors. Tackle made by 3.
Mvu had 48 yards last week against Gibson Southern. And he was their leading rusher last week.
Gain of 4 up to the 33. Again, Danville turned it over at their own 39-yard line on the opening drive. All night to throw for Ward. Now pressure comes from Duncan. trying to fight the sideline, and he'll just have to throw that one into the Cascade bench.
Well, what you like about it, if you're a Cascade fan, and they don't put as much pressure on quarterbacks, what they try to do is cover everybody. You kind of sometimes have to make a choice. If you got guys who can get off the edge, get the quarterback, then you don't have to have as much in the secondary. Or if you can't get to the quarterback, then a lot of times you try to flood all the zones, and that's what Cascade did that time. And he had all day to throw, but still had nowhere to throw.
Duncan had a big stop on third down last drive. Third down and 6 here for the Warriors. Ward uncorks a deep one down the sideline.
He had a step on him, Rick. If that ball would have been there, that would have been a possible catch. He led him by a couple yards. I like the play a lot. They got to stretch the field a little bit here, but the pass was just overthrown.
And they wanted Trevor Lynch. Could connect to them, and we'll see what Danville wants to do here. They went for it on fourth down.
Don't think they're going to do that this time.
It was fourth and a little bit longer than this. And they've got Ethan Wooten back there to punt it away. Last year averaged almost 37 yards per punt, included a long of 62. And a game that two teams combined for over 60 points. Not surprised to see Wooten was not needed to punt last week. Boots this first one away and sends Savini backpedaling. He's got a wall of crimson in front of him, trying to spin away from trouble, and he finally gets taken down by a plethora of Warriors. First one in there was Griffin Hackelman. So a punt here for Danville. They turn it over on downs and go 3 and out on their first 2 possessions of the ball game tonight.
Yeah, and I think Danville's going to be happy with that punt coverage. This is where they want to keep Cascade down in their own territory. So the punt was good. The coverage was good. But once again, their defense really quickly back on the field. Offense 2 possessions. Quite honestly, as of yet, not a lot to show for it.
First and 10 for Cascade from their own 31. They started the last drive at the Danville 39. Braxton Lewis and Marcus Hobson on the left side of the formation here in the wing tee for the Cadets. Pitch out to Savini, trying to get the edge. He does. Got a good block from Hobson, and here comes Savini. Turns it up. Ushered out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line, pushed in to the Danville bench, ushered out by Hutton Simmons, but another big-time carry from Savini.
Now look at this replay, Rick. He's got an escort of the biggest escort you could ever find. I love that play. You put the big guys out there, and we're unfortunately, if you're Cascade, there's a flag, but I love that play. It's a numbers game. The bigs get out there, and they love to hit the smaller guys. Let's see what they call it. Why did they get the penalty? I didn't see it.
Looks like it was a block in the back, and so maybe a little bit too much of a convoy out there on the outside.
Speed option, you're vulnerable because you're going after a block, and sometimes backs turn, so you got to be super careful. Good call by the official. A little break there for Danville, so let's see if that defense can take advantage of it. But I like that play, well executed.
First penalty against the Cadets tonight moves them back 5 yards. It'll be a 1st and 15 from their own 26. Give straight up the middle, and more work for the fullback, Dayton Mink, his 4th or 5th carry here as we hit the halfway point of quarter number 1.
13, Dayton Mink on the carry. Tackle made by
Well, Dayton Mink was their second leading ball rusher last week with 75. They had 2 runners, one with 107, one with 75, and they had some others that contributed as well. But they'll run 2-3 running backs, try to keep the legs as fresh as possible.
Mink able to get the penalty yardage back, and now here's that shotgun look out of the wing tee as Mink goes in motion. He'll take the screen, had to look into the sun to get it. Ran right into the Crimson tackler coming up, Hackelman from his cornerback spot.
Really, really good defense. If they've ever been forced to have that one-on-one tackle, this is the way you do it. Griffin Hackelman, one-on-one tackle, and it's much harder today than it was years ago because everybody's faster, everybody's stronger, and you can be a huge mismatch out there. And he just does a great job of securing that tackle. That's big for Danville.
Hackelman last week, 15 tackles, 10 of them solo from that cornerback position. Last year, Jandy had just 3 tackles in the entire campaign.
3rd and 12. Danville's got him exactly where they want him. Can they hold serve?
Trying
yes,
to get
they
to the
do.
outside. Hobson, and he'll lose a couple more yards on the play. Porter Prather, who head coach Jamie Comer said's one of the more underrated linebackers in the state, comes up and able to get no gain on the play.
Well, look how he plays this. Really, the key for this is he got off the ball, and he read. And you have to do that really quick because that's another power option to the right. That's just, you can see why he's high on this young man. Just that play alone really is going to get Danville should get them really good field position.
He cramped up in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah, they had multiple, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were thinking that no Prather in that fourth quarter kind of helped Gibson Southern get back into it. Punt was partially blocked by the backside of somebody coming through the middle there. You could see Prather celebrating, and all Cascade can do is touch it down. Let's get a look at it here again.
Well, he took a long time. He kind of bobbled it just a little bit, didn't get a clean catch, and took almost a huge stride before he kicked it, and that was enough time to get it blocked. Now there's your break, Danville. Let's see what you can do with really good field position.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. They'll start in Cascade territory at the Cadet 43. Looked like it was blocked by somebody coming through the line. Might have been Min Vu for Danville, blocking it with the shoulder, maybe the bottom of the face mask. Less than 4.5 to go here in the opening quarter. Danville with the ball for the 3rd time. Ward, quick screen, complete to the near side, and O'Brien gets hit immediately on the play out in the open field by Michael Langley.
I love that play. It's one of my favorite plays, especially on 1st down, Rick, because if you can get the cadence right, get the ball to the receiver in a boom-boom play, you're going to get 3 yards. And if you can get 3 yards on 1st down, we talked about moving the chains, that's a good way to start if you can get 2 or 3 yards, and I think he did.
They got a little bit more than that. Actually got 5 yards and a little bit more.
Then
let's run it again.
He deserves a raise then.
Ward in the gun, gives off to Vu.
Huge hole.
Big hole right up the middle as he
hole.
worms his way. JT Rochung holds on for dear life, but there's the first down of the night for Danville. Comes to less than 4 to go in the first.
Look, the big guys up front, it's a trap. They kick out. He does a great job of reading his blocks. Give those big guys. I always said if I was one of those big guys once. I'm even bigger now, but I was still big then. I ever said if I got to broadcast, those big guys were going to get some props, and they did.
A lot of experience, 4-year starters, particularly the guard spots. Left guard Drake Sharp and Paxton Trump, the right guard. And here comes Vu, right over the right guard, Paxton Trump. And who's there to greet him is Sharp. And now Danville's got a goal to go on 2 big runs from Vu.
Listen, Mr. Moe has now went on to the side of the Warriors. They had a little bit of a wake-up call, I think, Rick. They're getting off the ball. They're executing. Listen, every play, if you execute it, is a good play. The problem with some plays is the execution's not there. And that front 5 is doing an outstanding job for the Warriors right now.
Just outside of the 10, so called a 20-yard run down to the 11. As Vu's starting to cook here, Danville trying to even this game up as we dip below 3 minutes to go here in the first.
Red zone efficiency. Let's see how the Warriors do, Rick.
Ward rolls out, throws a little out route and just a little bit too low for his intended target there on the outside, and Ethan Wooten.
Yeah, and that was a good play call. They had Shipley going deep, and some of the secondary you'll see here in the replay. Now watch, Shipley goes deep, and then they try to get the underneath route. That was there. The ball was not.
TJ Turner was there defending a guy. A little bit caught up in the wash there with the over-under route.
That's a good play. On 1st down, that play in the red zone just didn't quite get there, but still you're in great shape, 2nd and 10.
Ward walks into center after Lynch moves in motion. Quick give to Vu. He's been the all-star here on the drive, and he'll get stonewalled by that Cadet defensive line.
Look at that.
Before Vu keeps moving. Oh, he loses his helmet, and that is a hard-earned 3 or 4 yards as the ball comes free from Luke Farmer, finds in his mitts.
I think they blow it dead.
I think you're right. I think the whistle blew right before Farmer ripped it out of the grip of Vu. So a hard-earned couple of yards there for Min Vu, the 5'10 senior.
Young people watching this, your coaches tell you all the time, you keep playing till the whistle. No whistle, you keep the legs driving, and by that, another 3 yards. It's just fundamental football. Good job.
Inside the 10, that's a gain of 4, so it's 3rd and 6. Danville can get a first down without having to score. Wooten sprinting out. Oh, the ball's ripped free. TJ Turner ripped it right out clean. And this time falling onto it is Wooten. That's the 2nd play in a row, Jan, that Danville's almost given it up.
Wow. Causing your coaching staff to take some deep breaths here. Got to see the problem he's got there. He's got the ball. See, did you see how wide he carries the ball? That's dangerous down there. You got to get that piece of loaf of bread tucked in there and get 2 arms around it because everybody else likes bread too.
I also enjoy bread.
I do.
4th.
But you don't carry it like that or you're not going to have the bread.
4th and 4 from the 5, or just outside the 5. Quick snap to Ward, looking, throwing, back of the end zone, and hauling it in is Ethan Wooten with a pretty catch He might be hurt a little bit, but a touchdown will count as Wooten, an impressive catch with Rochong there defending.
This is a well-executed play. It's a long developing play, and the key on this play is he has got to have time. Watch how many people he has going right, 3, and then what they try to do is get everybody out, make it a one-on-one, and gets him the ball. Perfect catch, but he grabs his ankle. Let's hope that's all right.
Sports medicine staff runs out to go take a look at the Danville wide receiver, Ethan Wooten. And we'll take a quick break for this message from Endeavor Communications. Tonight's game proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory.
We've been doing this for many years now over in Hendricks County, and thank you, Endeavor, because you've made a lot of this possible. We can't thank you enough. Hendricks County really, really support them because they love their high school and they love sports, and we certainly thank them for helping us bring these broadcasts to you.
You look at Danville, we mentioned a big matchup of these two teams in Hendricks County. They haven't faced off against each other since 2018. All of these guys were, 11, 12, sometimes even younger than that, depending on the age of the young man on the field. And again, hoping the best for Ethan Wooten. Was holding that ankle. You could kind of see the right ankle twist a little bit as he was going up for the catch. Good to see him back on his feet and walking off under his own power. But right after he made that catch, Jan, he immediately motioned for his teammates to get away from him, so everybody knew there was something not right with Wooten, but good to see him walking off under his own power.
Yeah, no doubt. And hope I'm not going to guess because I don't know, but I think he was so concentrating on the football that I think that he had to come down, and he kind of shifted his ankle when he came down and twisted pretty good. So hopefully it's something they can retape, and we'll just have to keep our eye on it and see what happens. But at least for now, the good news is he's up, and that's always a good sign. We'll hopefully maybe get another look at. It was a beautiful throw. There is only one place he could throw that ball where it can be caught, and it was the arch right over the defender. Perfectly thrown ball, and even a better catch because, listen, that coverage was solid. Sometimes you make good catches because the coverage ain't there. But when you make catches like that, the coverage is there. That's really good.
Rochong, the safety, was the man defending. He's a 4-year starter on that Cascade defense. Hutton Simmons the snap, Drew Rector to hold. The kick is up and through from Evan Beck, who remains perfect on the year. And after turning it over on downs on the opening possession,
Rick, let's take a look at this replay here. Here you got 2 receivers going right. Now here's the receiver. Now the problem with Cascade is he never seen the ball. On the replay, he was clearly guarding his man and just hoping because he stayed with him, he could literally shadow or keep the receiver from having any room. And because his eyes never seen the football, the receiver was able to keep focus on it, and it was a perfect pass.
You saw Wooten there favoring that right ankle a year ago. He had just 1 touchdown catch, had a touchdown, had no receiving touchdowns last week, did have 1 rushing, so a very diverse player. The senior for Danville was their leading rusher a season ago in both carries, yards on the ground, and rushing touchdowns. So Danville hoping the best for number 25, Ethan Wooten, as they'll kick it away here with about 76 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
You see the really good defenders in high school football always know where the football is. Now, sometimes you can't because maybe he got a step on you, but when you can, you as a defender or a secondary guy, you got to know where that football is.
Cascade ready to take this kickoff. Here will be their first kickoff return they've had here tonight. Had just 2 returns a week ago in their convincing win over Monrovia. Will be taken by Marcus Hobson. Hobson with a lot of room to work, already out near the 30. He'll get shoved down just shy of the 40-yard line. We step away briefly for this quick sponsor message.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
1st and 10 with 70 seconds left to go in the first. Cascade scored their first drive of the game. They've been held scoreless since. This is their 3rd time holding on to the rock as Mink, the fullback, gets plenty of more work here in the first as he powers his way for a gain of 3.
Dayton Mink on the tackle. Have we mentioned his name about 20 times already?
I think so.
That young man's everywhere. You know when a kid's playing really hard, when on offense and defense or whatever. Mink. That tells you that kid loves football and he loves to be around the football.
A year ago as a junior, rushed for over 1,200 yards, averaged over 109 per game, and scored 16 rushing touchdowns.
34 seconds left.
Trebley throws. Flag on the play. It is complete right before the defender could get in there, Jacob Fultz. And the receiver on the play, guess who? Dayton Mink. But now we have to hold our breath and figure out what the penalty flag is. There's a 2nd down and 7, but the way Cascade's moving, it looks like it's going to go on the Cadets. I'd like to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Raising Cane's. Hit the spot at Raising Cane's, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes. Each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled to golden brown perfection. And most importantly, where the secret recipe Cane's sauce is made in restaurant every day. The Cane's box combo is sure to hit the spot and leave you craving more. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Love Raising Cane's chicken fingers. It's about that time, end of the first quarter. Here we go. Here comes all the food. I'm starving by the end of the game. Every week Sean does it to me, man. Here comes all the food. I love it.
8 seconds left to go in the first. Clock is winding. Trebley with one last gas. He's going to put a lot of air underneath this one, and he'll overthrow his intended man in Rochong, and that will bring our first quarter to a close. Each team gets a touchdown in the opening quarter. It's a Trebley 1-yard touchdown run for Cascade. Wooten on the other side with a touchdown catch for Danville, and we're tied at 7 after 1 quarter of play. As you're watching Indiana High School football presented by Endeavor Communications tonight on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
A quick-moving opening quarter. Each team had the ball 3 times. Cascade's third drive continues here as we get ready to start the second quarter, Jan. We're tied at 7. What do you like of Danville's response after the turnover on down start and then the quick touchdown by the Cadets?
I think it's a great question. You know, I like the way Cascade, first and foremost, got off to a great start. But what I really like about Danville, it almost kicked them into gear. You know, they played that second and third and fourth possession of the first quarter, they played a different level of football, and that's why Coach Simmons, you know a lot about your football team sometimes when they take a quick punch, you know. How are you going to respond? And I thought Danville really picked up their game, got their offense going, very efficient, defense looked good. This is everything, Rick, I think we thought it would be. Great game.
3rd down and 12. Cascade looking to pick up a 3rd down, trying to pump fake and throwing it wildly.
That's dangerous.
Is the senior quarterback Brady Trebley. He was in the grasp of someone. Looked to be Logan Thompson coming up. The defensive end made life difficult for Trebley, and incomplete will force Cascade to punt.
Now let's see where they placed this ball. Did they call this an incomplete or in the grass?
Looks like they're going to say an incomplete because they put it back at the 35.
You could have made a case either way that time, but they gave him the benefit of the doubt and called it an incomplete. So that's kind of a really dangerous thing. That could have been intercepted.
First punt of the year for Cascade, and Gabriel Glaze is the man tasked with that duty and boots a right-footed punt out of there. Short one takes the Danville bounce, and it's tapped down by the Cadets. And now Danville with an opportunity, Jan, to score for their second possession in a row.
All of a sudden, that Cascade offense that was just awesome in that first couple drives, now all of a sudden Danville's defense is starting to dominate a little bit. That tells you two really good teams making some adjustments and kicking it in.
After the punt, Danville takes over.
So now Danville, after holding here, they're going to end up with really decent field position themselves, Rick, with a hot offense.
Carter Ward, 3-year starter at quarterback, had 3 touchdowns through the air a week ago, and all he did as a sophomore last year led Danville to an 8-2 overall record. As a freshman, just 7-3.
Yeah.
So
really. Both coaches, they just salivated over these quarterbacks.
Man.
You know, 3-year, 4-year, that doesn't happen all the time. And when you get it, you want to cash in on it.
Quick drop from Ward. Beautiful ball, but into double coverage. Wanted Mason Shipley and bracketing him, Michael Langley and J.T. Rochon.
Really good coverage that time. You called it very well, double coverage. He was just trying to give his receiver a shot by elevation, but there was just no space there at all to make any reception. But what I like about that throw, he threw it up, makes it a little harder to intercept, and trying to just get that, can my guy out jump their guys?
2nd and 10, clock stops. Ward drops the throw again. Here comes pressure from Cascade. Flag is thrown. A little flip to preserve to get away from a sack, but it looked like a hold will go against Danville and move him back a couple of yards.
Yeah, anytime that a quarterback can't get releasing the ball and use an offensive lineman have to block that long, that's probably never a good thing. But we talked about keys of the game, number 2, defensive pressure. Cascade really threw it to him that time, not just once, twice, 3. That's really good pressure. 1 guy's good, 2 guys really good, 3 guys great when you get him going after the quarterback.
TJ Turner looked to be the man that was spun around. So he was applying that pressure. Just a sophomore for
pressure.
Cascade.
There's no better enemy of football than a defense that can just provide relentless pressure against the quarterback, pressure receivers. I use the word pressure a lot because it is a game changer. It really is. When you can put that type of dynamic defensive pressure on teams, it's a game changer.
2nd and 20. Still no Ethan Wooten out there after injuring his ankle on that touchdown catch last drive. Ward with more pressure and a whole bunch of folks in his face, and he'll have to throw this one away into the Cascade bench again.
Well, they're able to put this pressure, Rick, because the secondary is doing a great job of giving no room for the receiver. So it's very difficult. We got a penalty again. Let's see what this is about. Looks like it may go against Cascade. Let's see what this is about here before we finish our thought. What we got, Rick?
I'm waiting for the signal with bated breath.
Yep. Illegal receiver downfield. Danville declined. Move the down.
So that'll keep it at 3rd and 20 from Danville's 34-yard line.
And what happens in a case like that, if you're an offensive lineman and your quarterback takes off, you think he's running sometimes. So then you go downfield, then all of a sudden he throws, you're in no man's land. And you see that a lot when the quarterback starts getting out of the pocket.
Rector and Shipley wide to the bottom of your screen. Motion man is Hood. A little comebacker here. Almost blown up in the backfield, trying to run away from pressure is Rector. Tracking him down from behind, Wyatt Menardo. But a late hit on either Luke Farmer or Michael Langley might extend the drive here for Danville.
Well, I'm interested to see where he hit him. Now, if he hits him initially in bounds, that's a tough call. If he hits him on the white line, it doesn't matter what I think or what it is. He called it, so he felt like the other guy had him and the second guy was hitting him out while he was out of bounds, or he wouldn't have thrown the flag. Personal foul. Oh, they're calling it a hit to the head, so it doesn't matter where he's at there. Let's take a look at it. So this is not so much where he's at as he takes a shot to the head. That's the call.
Yeah, it was Farmer coming in late. Menardo, the nose tackle.
Great replay, Sean. You can see his elbow just really get him in the head. That's a great call. Good job by the officials.
And a humongous penalty marches this one to the 49 of Cascade.
He brings that elbow down, hits him clean. Good chance they're not going to call that because it was real close to being in bounds. But it don't matter where you at. You take a shot to the head. It's a absolute penalty. He didn't aim to do it. Just his unfortunate arm was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Ward under center with Hood the back. First carry for Dayton Hood, 5'7" junior. Wiggles his way forward to the 45. with Turner, Sterling, and the rest of their teammates in there to stop his progress.
Moving the chains again, Rick. We talked about that. Really felt like Danville had to make some improvement from last week, and they really are, especially here late in the first quarter, now early in the second quarter. Moving the chains, offense staying on the field. That's exactly what Coach Simmons wants.
So short yardage situation, fresh set of downs here. Fourth play of the drive for Danville, trying to take their first lead of the night. Again, Ethan Wooten, the 5'11 senior, who made a great catch in the end zone. Had a lower leg injury, was able to walk off under his own power. We have not seen him back yet. Vu, fake handoff Ward, late pitch out to the back, stricken out on the near side, and Lynch. He'll get a couple as he got banged into his own bench. Luke Farmer, the one to escort him out.
A veteran quarterback makes this play because he waits, and you don't pitch till the defensive man touches you, and it has to be quick and accurate or you're going to fumble that thing. That's really a veteran quarterback play. It really is.
Rochon on the stop there as well as Ward goes back to the gun.
Cascade defense going to have to make some plays here. Momentum's on this Danville side right now.
Straight drop for Ward. Comes back to the near side as a screen set in front for Shipley, and there's nobody. And eventually, Shipley was about to outrun everybody before JT Rochon came out of nowhere and prevented 6.
When I say I love it, it has nothing to do with team. I love the execution of the play. And it was well designed. It's a kickback where the receiver kind of waits, lets his other receivers downfield, cuts back. The ball was perfect. Execution. I love football when there's execution. It's just nothing prettier.
Stopped at the 9, a 33-yard gain to Vu, who was heavily featured early on in the game, and he is walled up and pushed back. Braxton Lewis and Dominic Appleby, two of the many cadets in there to introduce themselves aggressively. Here's a look at the catch and run for Shipley.
See the kick out right there, Rick? And then he comes right around where that block was. Everything has to be timed to perfection for that play to work, and well done. Now you're down in the red zone. Cascade veterans defense. I was a defensive guy, man, and there is no tougher situation than down in the red zone, 10-yard in. That's your goal line defense. It is a challenge like none other. A lot of real estate, left to right, not a lot north to south. You got to make a play.
Not a lot of folks spread out as play clock might have been dwindling a little bit. As we'll wait and see who called the timeout.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
You know, Jan, I did the read for Raising Cane's, and now we play the commercial. They are teasing us right now. They have a dog in the commercial. I mean, how can you not love Raising Cane's?
Well, I'm not going to like him if they feed that dog that and don't bring me some. He wanted it. He didn't get it either.
At least we're in good company with the dog.
I love Raising Cane, man. Go spot. Go. If you haven't been there, go, because you'll see me there when you go. I love Raising Cane.
And Jan will take as many selfies as you want.
We have one where I live, and it's packed all the time.
Second and goal from the 8. We'll see what Danville has cooked up out of the timeout. Jackson Witten, the left tackle, moves to the right side of the line. Vu fake the handoff Ward. He gets spun down by one arm of T.J. Turner.
Well, the reason why he has to cut back in because Luke Farmer had the pitch man cover. See, look at number 1 right here. Recovers really well, and so there's nowhere to pitch. That's a great quick decision by the quarterback. He pitches that, and that could have been ugly. Good decision to hold on the ball. Don't want to fumble it down there.
Move the ball back to the 9, third and goal. Danville trying to take their first lead of the night and score on back-to-back drives. Ward with a man in his face throws right across the middle, and it's incomplete, and it's Rochon who breaks that pass up.
Take a look at the play from the shotgun. Feels a little bit of pressure, plants his feet, and that's just good defense, man. He rifled that where his guy could get it. And let's see here. I think that Graver was the guy who broke that up for Cascade.
Evan Beck on to trying to add 3 points on the board. It'll be a 25-yard attempt. And it is up and good, and Evan Beck's first field goal attempt of the year is true, and Danville has scored 10 in a row. Let's take a quick break. Warriors on top 10-7. You're watching high school football presented by Endeavor Communications on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Danville started the night off turning it over on downs on the opening possession and going 3 and out on their second possession. Since then, a 7-play touchdown drive, this time an 8-play drive that ends in a 25-yard field goal, and the Warriors have 10 points on the board.
They do. They've got the momentum with them. Listen, they were 7 down, now they're up by 3. That's a turnaround. That's give a lot of credit to this Danville offense. Really came alive. Cascade now with a lot of defense, not near as much offense.
Are you surprised? And Cascade's going to get the ball here. It doesn't feel like they've gone as much no-huddle up-tempo like they did on that first scoring drive in the last couple times they've had the ball.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. No, they haven't, but they haven't really. Offense hadn't really been on the field much here in quarter 2 either. So now all of a sudden, pressure is now on their offense. That's the recipe for a good game. Back and forth, back and forth. There we go.
Cascade, the 5th-ranked team in Class 3A. A deep kick here to Rochon, trying to show off those wheels, and spins around and gets taken down at around the 35-yard, between the 35 and the 40. Good field position once again here for Cascade.
What I like about Rochon is when he gets the ball in a kickoff, he makes his mind up where he's going to go and then turns on the jets. And he's got quick feet, and they're going to get great field position here simply because he read his blocks, took off, and went. Sometimes you start dancing around back there, you don't get a lot of yardage, man. He took the ball and took off, and they got great field position, they being Cascade.
They've got their own 38-yard line, less than 9 to go here in the first half. Trebley under center. A lot of motion. Guess who? The fullback Mink gets almost his 10th carry here of the opening half so far. That's a gain of 4 out to the 42.
Well, I got to tell you that Danville right now defensively, Dennison hit him immediately. Another one of those seniors, 5'11", 210 pounds, right at the line of scrimmage. You don't always have to be the guy to make the tackle. But if you're the guy to slow him down, there should be a stat that you get an assist because he's the reason that play went nowhere.
Mink was about to get 4 more yards on the play, but a flag is thrown, and it looks like the initial signal is going to go against Danville, maybe a man lining up in the neutral zone. Or an offside here against Danville. So a crusher there against the Warriors. Their defense has been so good these last handful of drives.
You know, that's a mental mistake because you know where the ball's at defensively, and you keep the side of your eye to watch the ball. But I think he literally lined up all sides. That's just a little bit of a mental mistake. It happens. Shake it off and move on, but learn from that. Don't do that again because, man, you had them dead to right. Now they're right where they want to be to move the chains. Well, it seems like a small thing. They get a first down. They may not have had a first down.
Went from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 1, and Trebley calls his own number, and that is more than enough for the first down.
Huge difference, right? Little 2nd and 2, little quarterback sneak, easy first down. They would have had 6 or 7 had the penalty not taken place. That's a big penalty, quite honestly.
6-yard scoot for Trebley, back under center, turns and gives to Mink. Able to slip out of the hands of one man in the backfield, but Porter Prather made sure his progress would go no further.
And that's well said because Quick was the guy you talked about, number 55. What I'm seeing here defensively, Danville's making penetration very quick. Now, it's coming a little bit from that backside, and so Cascade's not able to get a lot of stuff going because a lot of these runners are getting hit or at least partially hit before they get very far off the line of scrimmage.
Luke Farmer, the wing back to the left. Savini, the wing back towards the near side of your screen. It'll be Farmer on a pitch, came in motion, cut back, trying to get away from Prather, but he doesn't get away from his teammates, namely Seth Dennison, along with a couple of the Warriors as well, but Dennison the first one to come through from the outside linebacker spot.
No question about it. The 5'11 senior. Look at the penetration again. There are at least 3 Danville defensive players in the attack mode behind the line of scrimmage. Man, they have flat out changed the direction of this game right now. First, the offense. You know, as a defensive guy, you kind of breed off the offense. With big plays, big scores, man, that pumps the defense up, and now all of a sudden the defense playing pretty well.
Malachi Lane, the other Warrior defender in there. Trebley moves the pocket, throws, and he's got a
Good
man
pass.
open, and it's connected to Rochon inside the 30. A big-time conversion on 3rd and 7.
Rochon, the receiver. That you said it well. He's got all day to throw. Look, 1001, 1002, 1003. It's a little bit of a slow-mo, but nevertheless the point is there. He had all day to plant his feet and wait till his receiver was right where he wanted him. That's a huge first down for the Cadets.
Gain of 17. Trebley, design run, big hole over the right side. He's got to do himself. He'll step inside the 15, pushed out of bounds finally by Fultz, but Trebley showing off the legs a little bit here.
Well, he's that dual threat. He is. He can run, he can pass, and that time he shows you his really quickness to get outside of that edge. Cascade, Rick, is now threatening down in the red zone.
That is plays of 17 and 14 yards the last 2 times. First Trebley with the arm, then his legs. And they're knocking on the goal-to-go situation once again as Trebley with the hard count almost got Danville a jump off sides. Savini, the motion man, goes back to his right wing back spot. Fake the handoff to Mink. Savini kept it himself, and he goes right into the end zone.
How good was that fake, Rick?
They fed the ball to Mink all night, and then finally Trebley pulls it, gives it to Savini, and he finds pay dirt.
Literally froze the Danville defense. They didn't know. That fake was so good. You know what? I think a salesman is in his career. He literally sold that like none other because did you see that? Everybody froze. They thought it was the first guy through, and it wasn't. And because of how good the fundamental fake was, he walks into the end zone. That's why all aspects of football are so important.
Trump adds the extra point, and it is back in front for Cascade, up 14-10, and here we go.
Now
right
watch the defense.
there.
Watch the defense. He has 4 guys hit him. They think he has the football. That tells you how good that fake was.
Trebley able to pull it away from Mink. And there was a little bit. He ran into Mink a little bit, and he ran into Savini a little bit as well. So it wasn't the cleanest of trying to get the ball handoff, but he pulled it out of the belly of Mink, and then everything was.
Is that Elijah on the camera tonight? Elijah's always on top of things. He didn't get faked out. Good job, Elijah, the cameraman.
Elijah Mash, best camera operator in the state of Indiana, earning his keep this evening.
Wow.
Tonight's game brought to you by Elijah on the camera and Endeavor Communications. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory.
Boys, we got a ball game. We thought we'd have one. Now all of a sudden Cascade got some momentum. Great execution, though. Just the faking, all pieces good. Now they're up 4.
Kick away here for Danville. So they try to get a big return. It's Trevor Lynch. He takes a couple of folks with him. Appleby was in there on the stop, but Danville will start at their own 31-yard line with 6 and change separating us from halftime.
Boy, these coordinators, the offensive, defensive coordinators, going to earn their money tonight. I call these football chess. Everybody's making moves and adjusting. This is the beauty of football when you get all this chess going on. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Man, the linebackers are just slamming in there. Guess what we'll do? We'll throw a hard fake in there. If they buy on it, we get a touchdown. That's football beauty. It just is.
Jamie Comer, the 6th-year head coach for Danville, calls the plays for the Warriors as the home team on their freshly covered turf field gives off to Minvu, and he powers his way up the middle for a nice gain on 1st and 10. Rochon on the stop.
As we watch this young man, let's continue to watch how quick his first step is. When those backs like him, you don't have to be the biggest guy. Sometimes those guys are power backs. But when you have a first step as quick as his, it's such a huge advantage because he hits the line of scrimmage before you can get rid of your block.
Lynch, Hood, the backup running back, is in now. Rector in motion. Ward, play action, pointing, directing, throwing a nice ball down the middle, a little bit underthrown, but coming back to get it and hauling it in is Mason Shipley.
How good is this pass, Rick? This was great faking. These quarterbacks are earning their money. We give them all kinds of highlights. They said, listen, we're not only going to listen to you, we're going to produce. He sat there and read. His line gave him all day to throw, and he throws. Take a look here. He makes it fake inside, freezes the linebackers, wait till his guy gets wide open. He wasn't wide open. Actually, that's not bad defense. But that's a mismatch. When he get that guy, he's a lengthy dude. He gets the ball up there. He thinks his guy can get it, and he does.
35 yards on the pitch and catch. Langley was able to trip up Shipley, and here comes Hood dancing his way up the middle. That'll be another good play on first down and 10 down to the 19-yard line. It'll be second down and a deuce.
Well, you can see why he likes Ward. He's a good, lengthy guy, doesn't panic, just stays in there, and now it's really got – the thing you never want if you're a defensive player is for that quarterback getting rhythm. He's in rhythm right now and just making really nice plays.
Vu, the back behind Ward. Gets the handoff. Big hole up the middle once again. Stretches out inside the 10. That'll be more than enough for the first down. It'll be goal to go from the 9. And this Danville offense, Jan, is really starting to cook.
Well, it starts with the guys up front, and there's the trap play. You see 65 with the trap play? That's the reason that play went. Let's give 65 a name because you block like that.
Drake Sharp, one of the captains.
Yeah, one of the captains, Sharp. If he doesn't, that's a tough block for him because he's got to go over and make that trap block, and he did it superbly, and that's why that play worked.
Timeout for Cascade as they try to slow down this Danville offense that they were right there back and forth with number 3 Gibson Southern in Class 3A last week. And Danville's offense, after the slow start, they have really picked it up beautifully here since the end of that first quarter.
Both offenses have really found comfort at times. Defenses have picked up their game, some adjustments made, but you got to make the argument Danville's offense looks comfortable right now.
Tonight's game brought to you by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. Sharp and Trump, the two guards, left guard Sharp, right guard Trump, both seniors, both captains, a couple of the 4-year senior starters on the line along with Trevor McCarthy, the right tackle. And they have been getting big holes up the middle for Vu and plenty of throwing time back there for Carter Ward, the quarterback.
Defenses have somewhat struggled with red zone stops here. Let's see if Danville can take it in again from the red zone.
Hood the back behind Ward. Hand off to him, finds a little bit of room left side, runs through an arm tackle, trying to stay up. Here comes the Danville offensive line trying to push him forward, but he's turned away. Duncan and Turner there guarding the gate.
Once again, the difference right now is those front guys. See how low they get off the ball? Offensive lines, I don't care how big you are. If you stand up, you minimize your how big you are. But when you use the leverage of your legs and you're big and you get off, stay low, head up, shoulder square, down there, it's not impossible, but it's really hard defensively to stop that because they have so much momentum with their legs if they stay low on that offensive line.
About 8 yards on the run from out the 1.5, and this time Hood able to find the end zone. Had no carries last week, and he has been a featured man here in the end of the first and so far in the second.
Well, the running backs are doing their job, but that front five from Danville right now is in stride. Their trap blocking is great. All their blocks have been just superb, and they are playing really, really good football on that front line.
Danville back in front by 2. Beck trying to make it 3. And this Warriors offense were limited to just 65 rushing yards a week ago against Gibson Southern, but they have been eating up a lot of yards on the ground tonight as Beck able to add that extra point. And back and forth we go, Jan. It was a slow start offensively, but we saw some folks that predicted they thought this game would end in the 30s, and the two teams' offense starting to pick up right now.
Yeah, I really feel like because of the caliber of how good these quarterbacks are and they've got complementary offenses all around it, I don't care how good your defenses are. I played football in college a lot of places. When you have a quality quarterback and he's got complementary players, you can be a really good defense and still struggle because they're just so talented. And both these offenses are very talented and just playing really, really well. It might be the last offense to get the ball tonight, maybe win. Because now all of a sudden the offenses are clicking and the defenses are going, man, we got to adjust here. But if you over-adjust, these are complicated offenses, and they're throwing all kinds of wrinkles. So it's a broadcaster's dream because you just love these football chess matches.
That was a 6-play, 69-yard scoring drive. The big play was that Mason Shipley catch for 35 yards from Carter Ward that set things up at the 27-yard line of Danville, or excuse me, 27-yard line of Cascade for Danville, and then it was finished off by Dayton Hood with his first rushing touchdown of the season. So again, after a turnover on downs and a punt for Danville, they have scored on their last 3 possessions.
Packed house, beautiful night.
New turf,
new scoreboard. What else you want? Good food commercials. Man, just sit back and enjoy this one. Get yourself some chicken fingers. I'm starving, by the way.
That makes 2 of us.
I know.
Short kick, takes a quick little Danville bounce. It looked like that was Langley. It was Langley, one of the upbacks, taking it there for Cascade. They were able to score their last time with the ball. And again, Jan, like you mentioned, this is starting to feel a little bit with 3:45 to go in the second that it might be last team with the rock might come away tonight with the win.
Well, here's what you got now, because we're all excited, and rightfully so. The teams are executing. But now, because of how good things are going offensively, now what you got is pressure on these players. You make a big mistake here, it can really change the game. We talked about in the keys to the game making penalties or turnovers or a mistake. And in a game like this, how big will that be? You got to keep focused all the time.
Trebley trying to get some yards on his own, but Prather stops him for a loss.
I love Prather. I love just he plays with emotion and passion on top of just being good. Watch how he reads and attack. You can see why Coach loves this young man. Look at that. Little emotion. Nothing wrong with that. Have some fun. Play with it, bud. I love it.
He's the leading returning tackler for Danville this season as the Warriors lost their top 2 stoppers a year ago.
Cascade's got to get back in rhythm here. 3:08. This is a big 3:08. Can they get something before halftime?
Quick screen out to the left side. Savini able to make some moves, trying to get to the 40, but then he ran into a whole host of Warriors. Trenton Sharkey along with Malachi Lane and others there to stop him.
Cascade's got to have a sense of urgency here while there's plenty of time. You don't want to waste time here either. See, the clock's moving at 2:43. I think I'd be going.
Farmer exiting, Hobson in on a 3rd down and 6 after the 7-yard pickup. Ball resting at the Cascade 39. Trebley under center. Hobson the motion man, and there's no huddle offense. We'll check with me here for Trebley as he looks back to the sideline.
Ton of clock going here.
It looks like they're going to have to burn a timeout. They'll stop the clock with 2:17 before recess, but you can see the late sub in there with Hobson coming in to get Farmer. That whole play was kind of doomed from the start. They had to burn the timeout there.
They did, because they didn't want to take the penalty, but, boy, sure used a lot of clock. Still okay. You should be – I mean, the thing you want to be able to do, they say you can – with the 2-minute warning, if you execute, you can do an 80-yard drive in 2 minutes. So they still got plenty of clock, but you don't want to time it down to the very last second either. But he did the right thing. At the end of the day, they made the right call. You want to make sure you get it right and don't get the penalty.
The good news for Cascade is they will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, so you can almost it's kind of the make it take it sort of thing. You score at the end of the first half, score to start the second half. You can really kind of put Danville behind the 8 ball without the ball ever resting in their hands.
Yeah, and you prefer to have to burn that timeout than everybody not be on the same page and make a penalty be one thing, turnover another. But I've seen times when it's a mistake that gives the other team the ball for a touchdown. So you just never know. They did the right thing. They got everybody on the right page, same page hopefully, with the timeout. Let's see what they got here.
Trebley goes to the pistol. Mink, the man behind him. 3 wide out to the near side. Here's a 3rd down and 6. Trebley moves the pocket, trying to find somebody. Just throws a little sidearm out there right near the 49 where he finds Savini, who got smacked immediately by Hackelman, but that'll be good enough for the 1st down.
It's a good pass. He waited for his receiver just to get a little separation there. It makes kind of a last grab. And listen, he was getting really close to the line of scrimmage, too. I think he knew where it was at. You could kind of see his head And I think he knew exactly where he could go and still pass. Good job.
Hookup of 9, a pitch to Savini with less than 2 to go in the half. Savini stretches out towards midfield. Malachi Lane there to make sure it was a short stop or short gain.
5, Toby Savini on the carry.
It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Tackle made by
100 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2.
Lane basically almost catches him from behind. That's a big play from your left tackle position. Don't ever give up on the play. He's going all across the field to make that.
Play action, Trebley throws across his body, has a
open.
man wide open, and a big hit. Braxton Lewis goes right through to the defender, and the senior tight end moves the sticks for Cascade.
Well, Danville's in a zone here, and what you want to do, they're trying to protect the end zone right now, they being Danville. Watch what happens here. They're playing zone, and he just waits until his receiver can get some separation in that zone. That's a good play.
Gain of 14, Mink the fullback. He will lose one back to the 37, but an absolute dart ripped through there by Trebley.
Minute 3, clock is moving.
Loss of a yard on the play brings up
Under a minute now.
Trump, the kicker for Cascade, missed his only field goal attempt last week as we had 50 seconds remaining in the second, and Cascade is just fine burning the last seconds of our second quarter here. Here's 2nd and 11. Faking the handoff. Trebley looking deep, throws that way. He's got a man in the end zone, and trying to come back to get it was Hobson. Breaking it up was Simmons, but you saw the laundry thrown there a yard into the end zone.
Oh, you sure did. I didn't see that first, Rick.
And now,
let's see what that is.
If you're in Crimson, you really don't want this to be defensive pass interference. If you're in white, you'd love it to be defensive pass interference.
A lot of contact going. Push, Danville. That's a backbreaker.
Mark Hopper with the call. That'll be a free 15 yards here for Cascade. And also,
let's see if we can see it here on the replay, Rick. He's got a hand in the back. Right there, he called it. He said you can touch him, but you can't grab him or hold on to him. And that's what he felt like he did, he being Simmons, who ultimately looked like he made a good play. But you seen that left arm just hanging on or too much contact, and the official goes, nope, that's too much, and it cost him.
You could almost see him kind of putting his right hand up like, I'm not touching him. Look at my right hand. Don't look at my left hand that's grabbing it.
Defensively, you're better off to hold him if he gets by you than to let him go in high school football, because it's not a big
spot of the ball.
So you're better off to do that. I don't know if that was the case.
Pistol snap, Trebley, sidearm pass, and that play was blown dead from the jump. It'll be a timeout here for Danville. They have one remaining. But again, that's a really smart point there, Jane, as you mentioned. It's not like in the NFL where it's spot of the foul.
Yeah, it's just if he beats you, grab him. And
hug him.
You do that because of the way the rule, and it's always been that way. I'm a big fan of the spot foul, but then nobody asked me.
I'll ask you next time, okay? Yeah, look at the Cascade head coach Connor Simmons, who brought in this wing T offense, and as he told us this week, he goes, it was kind of a leap for us 6 years ago. He goes, because I never had any experience with it. When he said that, I kind of sat there and go, man, to watch a guy that was putting in an offense 6 years ago as a first-time head coach at the high school level in Indiana, to then have this team that's averaging over 40 points per game, and they put up 48 last week, to go that far in 5 years starting year 6 in week 2 tonight is really something to behold.
Yeah, and we go back last week when we had Center Grove against Warren Central. Nobody runs the wing T any better than Center Grove does. When you're born at Center Grove, they hand you the wing T offense because every level of elementary, middle school, varsity, JV, all run the wing T. And Coach Moore's been there 27 years, so everybody knows the wing T.
Yeah.
They just do. And that's what he's developing, to your point, here at Cascade. When you learn to run that, everybody knows it. You've been running it for 8 years. You tend to run it pretty well.
They put about 10 or 11 seconds back on the clock. Savini on the catch. He'll get inside the 10, down to the 9. Stopped there by Hackelman. But here comes a quick hurry-up offense here for Cascade with 28 seconds left.
They sure want something to show for this.
13 yards there on the catch. Mink, handoff right side, and able to bully his way through. Dennison holding on to one of those tree trunk legs of Mink as he gets stopped just shy of the 5.
Does Cascade take their final timeout?
I think so. Someone has called a timeout with 18 seconds left. Gallagher also in there on the tackle.
Pretty sure it was Cascade that took the timeout. Yeah, it was.
Fultz on the stop.
Well, listen,
second down.
A little critical for me of Cascade taking a little bit of time, but right now they're proving me they're kind of where they want to be. So let's see what they got. 18 seconds. They got the ball right where they want it, and then key will be, can they get something here, boy? You put this drive together and get something before halftime. That's exactly what you want to do.
Middle part of this first half, Cascade did not have the same pop they had to start, but they have found their rhythm here the last two drives.
Their offense has now found that sense of urgency that you got to have. When your opponent's got it, you better find it.
18 seconds left. It'll be 2nd and goal for Cascade from the 5-yard line. Big play on this drive was the defensive pass interference by Hutton Simmons. Moved the ball to the 22, and then right after that it was the Savini catch and run for 13.
But see, remember, they burned that timeout early because so now they have no timeouts. They could probably get 3 plays with a timeout. With no timeout, this may be 1, maybe 2 max.
Trips receivers to the left, and Trebley lobs it into Hobson, and that was pretty easy work.
Wow, execution primo. And listen, they go, listen, we knew exactly what we're doing. We knew we were going to score with 14 seconds. We don't really care how fast you want us to play. When we execute, the clock doesn't matter. And that's a missed assignment, quite honestly, by Danville, because he was wide open.
All 3 touchdowns tonight, or 2 of the 3 touchdowns, have been courtesy of Trebley. The rushing touchdown to start gets a passing touchdown here.
Boy, hey, let's give them props. That 2-minute drill, if you will, ran to perfection.
Yep. Trump's extra point is up and good. And that was a 9-play drive that spanned 65 yards and took 3 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock. An efficient drive there for Cascade.
I'm starting to feel a shootout here for some reason, Rick. I like it. Some points being scored. Man, back and forth we go. Danville and now Cascade. Let's take a look at some of these plays, Rick. Here's the one that kind of got it set up. He's got an all day to throw in the middle of the zone. This was the play that quite honestly set this whole thing up because they really spread the field. Then down to the 22 we go.
That was 14 yards to Lewis. This one is after the defensive pass interference. 13 yards to Savini on a little out route, and then Hobson able to finish it off here from 9 out.
There's your veteran quarterback doing what veterans do. 4-year starter, all that experience, absolutely on display on that 3-minute drive, if you will.
Cascade back in front. They're ahead 21-17, making a 5-yard reception there for Hobson. He had 2 touchdown catches a week ago.
He made that look easy. I mean, he ran that clock to perfection. He said, stop bossing me. I know what I'm doing.
Head coach Connor Simmons said the game has really slowed down for his 4th-year starting quarterback in Trebley. And he said maybe by the end of the year, they might let Trebley start calling his own plays out there by the time we get towards October and into November.
They don't know. He may be calling them already, not telling them. He is a smart young man.
Trump a little squib kick. Danville with Lynch taking this one. Runs into the arms of a couple of cadet defenders. And now Danville gets the ball back with 10 seconds left to go in the half. Remember, they will have to kick off to start half number 2. And so being as far back as they are at their own 35 and only 1 timeout, this might just be a knee it down situation and go into the locker room. And that's exactly what the Warriors will do.
Yeah, I think you can make a case to throw one downfield, get it up high, and see what happens. But with a 4-point ball game, let's see, they'll probably just need it and call it a day. Yep.
So Danville will not score their 3rd time touching the ball in the 2nd, but they scored the first 2 times. But Cascade jumped out to that 7-0 lead. They get touchdowns from Savini and Hobson on a reception, and they lead 21-17 in a matchup of Hendricks County with 2 teams with big postseason dreams here in Week 2. You're watching Indiana High School football presented by Endeavor Communications on the IHSAA Sports Network. We're back with our halftime show next.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the IHSAA Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, IHSAA Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast. And contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
A newly surfaced surface here at Warrior Stadium. New turf, new press box, new video board all unveiled tonight for Danville as they come in ranked 13th in Class 4A, taking on number 5 in Class 3A Cascade. Rick Johnston, Jan Bozier here with you. And Jan, we expected a shootout, a little bit slow out of the blocks, but from the end of the first quarter through that second quarter, it was buckle up and hold on tight.
It was. You know, we advertised 2 really quality quarterbacks, and they have not disappointed, but it takes a village to win a football game. Can't do it with just 2 star quarterbacks. I thought both offenses responded very quickly. Early on, Cascade took advantage of that short field, put a touchdown. Danville's offense comes climbing back. What you got to worry for now is these defensive coordinators. The head coaches are going, come on, somebody's got to stop somebody. That's pretty hard to do when you got these veteran ball clubs executing to perfection.
3-year starter and Carter Ward, the starting quarterback for Danville. Trebley, a 4-year starter on the other side for Cascade. You mentioned the defensive pressure. We saw a little bit of that toward the middle part of the first quarter, whereas Cascade's defense flexed their muscle. Second quarter, that defense was all Danville towards the end.
Yeah, and what you got, Rick, is you got 2 complicated offenses, so you can't make an over-adjustment. I mean, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at these quarterbacks. When you got that, these quarterbacks are good enough to get somebody way open in the field because of all that pressure. So you got to make minor adjustments and not over-adjust because you can try to fix one thing and break something else.
The most stressed people in the locker room are definitely the defensive coordinators here at halftime. At the break, it's Cascade on top by 4, 21-17. We'll be back with more halftime show next. You're watching Indiana High School football, presented by Endeavor Communications tonight on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the IHSAA Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, IHSAA Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
An action-packed first half here from Warrior Stadium. Cascade had great field position to start thanks to a turnover on downs by Danville and some fancy footwork from Savini here coming out of the backfield on a little out route, or a little screen pass from Trebley, and this Cascade offense flexed their muscle on drive 1.
Yeah, and they're, it's typical football, inside, trying to get these defenses to stay packed in. Then they hit the edges hard, then they go the pass. You better be reading in this one.
And then Trebley called his own number, plows in from 1 yard out, and Cascade was on the board just less than 5 minutes into the first quarter on a 7-play, 39-yard drive. Now, this is where things could have gotten a little screwy for Cascade. Next drive, they were forced to punt, gets partially blocked, and that set Danville up with beautiful field position.
Well, and you could, when you get asked to do keys to the game, you only get 3. Field position in a game like this, you could have easily put on the keys to the game because it has been a big factor. Field position, when they've got good field position, offenses have taken advantage of it.
And Minvu has been a workhorse tonight out of that Danville backfield. 4, and Crimson has been just chewing up yards every time he gets the ball put in his belly from Ward.
This is what you got to like. Down here in the red zone, I think both offenses, for the most part, have been really good. And there you see the touchdown pass, and he just kind of comes down on that right ankle and tweaked it a little bit. He got up later on. Let's see if he comes back in the second half, if he can play.
We didn't see Ethan Wooten after that touchdown catch. This is a big penalty here on Luke Farmer. That forearm came up and hit the receiver in the head there. That added on an extra 15 yards, and then things started to roll here for the Danville offense, particularly for this Shipley fellow. We'll see him a couple of different times. Big catch and run from Mason.
Yeah, and these are momentum-type offenses. They're built to be that way. You get some momentum in these offenses, and they could just take off on you.
That led to a Beck 25-yard field goal, but then back to the air goes Cascade. Rochong on the other end from a Trebley dart. That was on 3rd down and long, a big first down pickup here. And then Trebley showing off the wheels here on a big run.
Yeah, anytime you got a dual threat quarterback, that just adds another dimension to your football team, especially when they're coming after you with the pressure that Danville has.
And then this was the trickeration, a fake handoff to Mink, who'd been doing so much from the fullback spot, and then Savini just found his way to the end zone almost untouched.
That's why you do those drills where you go through the line, work on those fakes just 1,000 times, because you want them to be automatic, and you certainly want them to be selling, and that one sold with perfection.
Danville, though, would answer. Carter Ward dials up a 35-yarder to Shipley, and that was a big play there early on in the drive for Danville.
Shipley, 6'4", 190. You get him one-on-one, even if you cover him, he can elevate with that high length.
And then it was Dayton Hood, who had no rushes a week ago for Danville. He was featured heavily the last time that Danville touched the ball for significant time in the second quarter. Back to Vu again, right up the middle, right behind his center, Jacob Snyder, and his guards, Drake Sharp and Trump. They've been opening up big holes for Vu tonight, and then capping it off was Hood from a couple yards out.
Yeah, I thought both teams' offensive in the red zone was just really, really good. They executed, they got off the ball. Both teams, when they got in the red zone, Rick, I thought was very efficient.
But Cascade would not go away quietly. Brady Trebley, a throw off of his back foot across the middle to Braxton Lewis, the big tight end, able to pick up a key first down on 3rd down and 6. And then Trebley again. 2 out routes. He picks Savini, this time a first down inside or just about near the red zone, and then to cap it off, Hobson. Big throw, Savini, and Hobson right there amongst a couple of Danville defenders for the final touchdown of the first half.
You got to like Trebley. He can throw off his left leg, his right leg, both legs, no legs. He really has a focus with his eyes and then uses his arm. He doesn't always have, he loves to have his feet planted, but doesn't have to have them planted.
He also might have a little bit of a baseball background. You've seen a couple different arm planes. He's throwing a couple sidearm darts in there.
I don't know if he plays shortstop or not, but that's a great point because he sure looks like one, only he has a football.
The 6'3 senior, 4-year starter for Cascade has got the Cadets ahead by 4 at the halftime break. Again, tonight's high school football from the state of Indiana and Warrior Stadium is brought to you tonight by the fine folks at Endeavor Communications tonight here on the ISC Sports Network. We come back. It's time for the second half between number 5 Cascade and Danville here on ISC.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Less than 2 to go at halftime. It's Cascade, number 5 team in Class 3A, leading 4A Danville 21-17 here at the break. Couple halftime adjustments for both teams.
Yeah, that's a great question. I could make a lot of money if I could diagram it perfectly, but here's what I know. Obviously, both teams are very efficient in the red zone. They're talking to defenses about maybe linebackers, you got to take a little more chance because nobody's really been able to stop either team in the red zone. So look for maybe some more pressure out of defenses. I think the other piece is field position. We highlighted that in the first place. In the first half, I think both teams are talking about, guys, stay on the field. One of our keys was move the chains, and that equals good field position. Got to have good field position to close this thing out.
Second half kick coming up next here on ISC.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Back at Warrior Stadium, where Cascade leads 21-17, fifth-ranked team in Class 3A against Danville, who's receiving votes in both of the Class 4A polls. Cascade will get the ball to start here in the third quarter. They scored, Jan, at the end of the first half. So this is a big drive here for Cascade, leading by 4, so you can put Danville down by 2 scores for the first time tonight, potentially.
Yeah, that could really be huge, and I'm sure Danville talked about this. Guys, we got to get a stop here. We don't want to go 2 scores down to play catch-up, so this may be as an important defensive possession for Danville as we've had so far. So we'll see what happens, but that's an excellent point. And on the other side, you know what Cascade's saying? Listen, guys, if we can execute like we just did, 80 yards in 3 minutes, we have a great shot at really putting Danville in a difficult position.
That's the voice of Jan Bozier. My name is Rick Johnson. We're directed tonight by Sean Walker. Graphics by Adam Clendenning. And bringing you the pictures from Danville tonight is the great camera operator himself, Elijah Mash. Get a look at the new turf installed here at Danville, new turf at Warrior Stadium, the new video board, which you've seen a little bit of here tonight, the new press box. It is all new for Danville as they're trying to come away with a win from all this new stuff.
Yeah, this is my first time working with you, and it's been a ton of fun, but I got to give you a couple secrets here. One of the reasons I always like going to Danville because they always play Sweet Caroline, and that's like my all-time favorite song. So when I know when a play's called Sweet Caroline, we are in for a well of an ending. I'm telling you, never fails when Neil Diamond is the highlight here. Sweet Caroline's my song. So we're in for a treat. I really believe that for the second half.
Well, then I have some weekend reading for you. There is a story on ESPN.com about the girl that inspired Sweet Caroline and how it started at Red Sox. So there's your weekend reading in between hanging out with the grandkids on Labor Day. There you go.
I've seen Neil at least 7-8 times. He was my guy. Well, it's time to get serious, and both these teams understand.
I was waiting for you to jump in and start singing with Neil. That's what I was waiting for. Well, I was leaving the floor to you and Neil.
It's serious time now, man. We got a great ball game, and it doesn't take much to win or lose. Focus will be primo in this second half, Rick. Here we go, buddy.
Let's see if Danville kicks it away from Rochon. He has had 2 really quality kickoff returns here tonight. And they're going to kick this one short and out of the hands of Rochon. TJ Turner has it. All he did was he had a pick 6 last week, so he knows how to take the ball to the other way, and he's going to get it 1st and 10 for Cascade at their own 45. More good field position here for the Cadets.
Exactly right. That ball was not kicked very long, and Cascade, we just talked about field position, Rick. They're going to have this ball right at about the 43-yard line, man. If you could get the ball at the 43-yard line every time, it's like you were given a 20-yard gain when you normally start a little bit down there on the 20-25.
Hobson, the wingback, lines up all the way wide at the top of your screen. Trebly under center. Here's Mink. Fullback was featured heavily in that first half, and he'll get a gain of a couple. Those are hard-earned yards coming right up the middle against the Danville defense.
I really respect, and I've said this a couple times now, but I'm a big fan of when teams play really good non-conference schedules. We're in a day and age where wins have to, high school, college, all that kind of stuff. But I respect both these because they both said we wanted to play really good teams going into our conference schedule.
Right tackle Wyatt Minardo jumps early. Tackle on that last play, by the way, by backup defensive lineman Alex Ajibad on the stop there against Mink. And a couple penalties in the first half for Cascade. They get one here early, less than a minute into quarter number 3.
Yeah, I thought for the most part, penalties weren't terrible for either side. There were a few, but in a game like this, you're going to have some. This is an untimely penalty. Still second and about 14.
As Trebly gets the play from that far sideline for Cascade. They're in the white tonight on the road. Danville in the home crimson. Again, Hobson wide out to the left. So they'll bring Farmer, who's a backup wide receiver, as a wingback set left. Savini in motion. Big pitch out to the far side from Trebly. Danville does a good job of stringing it out. Savini trying to cut back in. Dennison came in big from that outside linebacker spot, pushed him back, along with Logan Thompson, who strung that play out.
Yeah, but Prather has lived up to the billing because his coach said, you guys going to love this guy. Did you see how he strung? You called it. That was Prather who strung this thing out. When you do that, what happens? And he didn't make the tackle, but by doing that, he allows all his help to come and make the tackle. That's exactly how you want to play that outside linebacker position.
2 in crimson right there at the middle part of your screen. Trebly in the no-huddle wing T Cascade offense. Going back to the gun, something they introduced a year ago. Drop straight back. Trebly throws, complete. Wanted to find Savini. He's going to spin off of one tackle. That was Prather, tried to take him down. Holding on around the waist was Fultz. So that should be good enough for the first down across midfield.
Well, Cascade sends 4 people out that time, 2 of them deep. Zone shifts with the deep, and the underneath man was wide open. That was a well-executed play because what you try to get that defense to do is take a guess. And if you guess just for hesitate for a second, that underneath guy is open, and that's exactly what happened.
So Cascade 2 yards short. They'll be 4th down and 2 from the Danville 49. Lewis, a tight end, comes in late as Hobson, and then Lewis slips and falls. I
think their feet got tangled, the quarterback and him.
Him and Trebly got tangled up. You can see Lewis just looking to the sky going, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah, they got their feet tangled up a little bit. Hope everybody's all right.
That's the second time we've seen that tonight, Jan.
Yeah.
There's a late sub with one of the wingbacks and having to come in, and just like in the first half, Cascade's got to burn a timeout here, this time early on in quarter 3.
Normally you don't worry too much about it, but in a game like this, it's so strategic. you hate to burn a timeout that wasn't really, really helpful, but they had no choice.
Danville's defense looking pretty good here on the first drive of the third. Cascade going for it here on 4th down.
Well, are they? They may.
They're thinking about it.
They're thinking about it, but since they burned that here, they burned a timeout, so they're not going to be able to do a hard count and get out of it because they burned a timeout, and they sure don't want to burn another timeout. So they may do a hard count and go with it. Let's see what happens. But a lot of times in this situation, you want to get the free 5. I'm not sure they're in a position where they'll try that. Let's see.
First 4th down attempt tonight for Trebly and the Cascade offense. They will go for it. Mink stopped in the backfield, coming through Bryce Egan. There'll be no gain and a turnover on downs to start the second half.
Wow, Egan came out of nowhere. He's played a superb game, a junior. Take a look at number 30 right here. Man, right at the line of scrimmage. That's just red. And the key right here, Rick, is his pursuit angle. You have so little margin of error on defense, and if you don't take that right pursuit angle, shortest distance between 2 points in a straight line, his pursuit angle was absolutely precision, and that's why he made that tackle. Well done.
Mink stopped a yard short, and Cascade gives it back on a turnover on downs. Here comes Carter Ward and that Danville offense. Hand off to Vu. He'll get a handful over the right side. Stopped by Braxton Lewis.
Boy, both coaches not afraid to take some risk here today. That's the type of coaches they are. And, you know, sometimes they don't work, but I love the thought process. Listen, we came here to win. We may not always get it right, but we came here. We're going to make calls to give our kids a chance to win. I love it.
2nd down and 6 as Vu picks up another 4 yards. It feels like he's been getting 4 yards every time he touches the ball tonight. Dayton Hood in the back now with Ward. 3 wide receivers to the right. Pumps. Pressure comes. Ward might have to tuck in and run himself, being pressured by Duncan, and then finally ushered out of bounds by the gaze of Savini, but a good carry there by Ward.
Yeah, Ward makes a really smart decision here. Cascade absolutely locked every receiver down. He had all day to throw, but there was nowhere to throw. And quickly after about read 1 not there, read 2 not there, read 3 not there, get something, and he does. That's a smart, mature quarterback.
7 yards on 2nd and 6, moves the chains for Danville as they look to retake the lead here in their first drive of the third. Vu on the take, right up the middle, and the first one to greet him, Braxton Lewis once again.
Well, Vu's clearly their workhorse. He's the guy that has to earn those 1, 2, 3 heavy-duty yards. Played a really good game so far.
Second on the team last year in carries and rushing yards that he split with Ethan Wooten, who was the leading rusher last season. But remember, he caught that touchdown pass in the first quarter. Looked to have rolled an ankle. We've not seen 25 in crimson since. 2nd and 8.
Danville moved.
And right before all that fun could happen, hold the phone, everybody, as Keith Jackson used to say back in the day.
I'm not so sure that wasn't on the center. It looked like to me he may have picked up the football and set it back down, or it was the left guard. But there was no question about the movement. Yeah, the center, you can't. You see sometimes centers get away. See right there? Mm-hmm. You can't do that. Once you move that ball, it's a live ball. You can't go set it down again. Right there it is. Great replay, Sean. Exactly what I've seen. I love it when the replay agrees with me.
So Jacob Snyder, the guilty party. Ward in the pistol. It's 2nd and 13. Coming back to the near side on a little comeback route. Slipping out of a tackle is Shipley. Got away from the first one, got away from the second one. Doesn't get away from Appleby, who was the third one.
Shipley again. There's the big 6'4" guy. They love to get him isolated. He took a little bit of shot there.
Tackle made by Dominic Appleby.
Able to get the penalty yardage back, and so it's 2nd down and 10.
Big
Actually,
play.
3rd down and 8, excuse me.
It's a big play right here, Rick.
Four wide here for Ward. First 3rd down of the second half.
3rd and long.
Good protection. Now breaks down as Ward climbs the pocket. Trying to come out to the left and spinning him back is Banks Sterling. With the help of Turner in there as well. Things open up for Ward and then they close pretty quick.
They do, and once again, that secondary and linebacking core of Cascade shut the receivers down. They're really electing to shut down receivers more so than they are to try to throw the kitchen sink at the quarterback, you'd kind of usually do either or, try to go at the quarterback. And if you don't think you can do that, then you really try to just smother the receivers. Cascade has elected to really try to shut receivers down, and they've done that quite a bit tonight.
Danville going for it on 4th and 6. They're 0 for 1 tonight. Pressure comes from Cascade. Oh, but a beautiful catch out to the sideline, and guess who? Mason Shipley, right when Carter Ward needed him. First down for the Warriors.
Well, he throws that. This is a route. This is a good route from the perspective that he throws it only where his guy can get it. He runs a good, crisp route, and the cut on that receiver is what makes that reception. Those two guys have probably thrown that back and forth all summer long, and they can do it in their sleep. And when you make it automatic, it's hard to defend.
That was one thing Jamie Comer said. The best advantage for Carter Ward this summer is he knew he was going to be the starter at quarterback after being a wide receiver the last couple of years. That last pass was 10 yards as Ward serpentining his way. That was a tough tackle there as he had to got the ball away in time to avoid the sack. That could have been a really dangerous tackle there low as pressure came from T.J. Turner.
I'm with you on that. He kind of slid down. Watch as he's tackling. I don't think it's anything intentional, but when you kind of slide as the tackler right about here, the knees are vulnerable. Whoa. Looks like he's okay. That nothing intentional. Sometimes, listen, football's 100%, and when you're moving 100%, you can't always control where you fall or lay. It's just part of the game.
Hood the back with Ward. He'll get the handoff here. Gets hit immediately by Savini, but able to take the Cascade tackler with him for a couple as we dip below 7 minutes to go in the third. First possession of the third for Danville. This next play, Jan, will be their 9th play of the drive.
Well, but they've owned the clock here in this third quarter, and they're trailing still, but they've kept the offense. Cascade, difficult to score with your offense when they're not on the field. Danville's really, we again talk about time of possession, field possession. They're doing all these things pretty well right now to start this third quarter.
Drive just a little bit over 3 minutes so far. Here comes play number 9 on a 3rd and 7. Danville trying to pick up their first third down of the possession. Play action Ward across the middle, and he almost had his intended man in Lynch, who turns around and looks for a penalty flag that does not come.
Let's see. Danville believes that Dixon may have grabbed his arm. Let's see if the replay lies or not. Whoa. That was close, I'll say that. They didn't think there was enough there to call anything, but that's what Danville, you heard some screens there, kind of felt like there was some contact, not enough to get a flag, though. There's always contact. Let me make it really clear. There's very few times when a defender and a receiver go out for a pass that there's not some time. Officials have to grade that. Did he impede his ability to catch, or was it over?
Here's 4th and 7. Danville trying to pick up their second 4th down conversion on the drive. Ward throws it towards the end zone and over the intended target. There in coverage was Hobson. It looked like that might have been Lynch. There it was, but Hobson had him draped and covered.
Ward's pass falls incomplete, intended for 29, Trevor Lynch.
So the two teams trade turnover on downs.
That's one of the few times that Danville's gotten down here and have not finished. Give a lot of credit to that Cascade defense. They've been a little bit. You hear that term a lot. If you're going to bend, you better not break, and they did not break. They held serve. That defense was on there on the field for a long time, and they got the stop. And let's see how big that is when we analyze this game at the end.
Jan, we talked about it during halftime. We said the defensive coordinators are going to be the ones that were the most stressed during halftime, and both get turnover on downs their first start. Now, how do you adjust after you see what the opposing offenses drew up during the break?
Yeah, they're going to stay the course. Tons of time to be played here. Everything is so close. The defense is close. Everything's close here. So you don't overreact as a defensive coordinator.
Savini wide open, able to make the first man miss as he crosses the 30 as Trebley completes another pass on the run. This will be 8 yards out to the 32-yard line.
You're talking about an emotional game now with the Cascade with this 21-17 lead. They stopped the offense of Danville. If they can take their offense, go score, that could be huge. Momentum, everybody's getting a little more tired as the game goes on. It really changes the complexity of this game if Cascade gets a 2-score lead.
Trebley calling the play. Wing back to the left is Farmer. Hand off to Mink, the fullback. Just shoulders with it. Oh, and now Mink breaks free and into the secondary. Big stiff arm for Mink. And look at the big man rumble up the sideline. Big time carry for Mink inside the 20 of Danville.
There's the big play. We've not had a ton of those of that magnitude. That is huge for Cascade, and it's all because he refuses to go down. Give that young man tons of credit. Watch as he comes through here. Meek has played well. Look, he breaks 2 tackles, breaks 3 tackles. That's just desire and just speed and weight room is what that equals. Refusing to go down, turning. When you get hit once, twice, 3 times, and then just have that big a run, that's all season.
41 yards, rumbling, and Savini's got it again on the outside, and another little handoff, and Savini with the fancy footwork, and he'll get inside the 10. It's the power from Mink and the fleet feet of Savini.
Cascade really engaged here. 2 big plays down to the 6. If I'm them, I pick it up. Listen, you got a defense now starting to get a little wind, and look where their hands are all at because a lot of running involved. But they're not going to speed it up here. 1st and goal. Man, Cascade has got tons of momentum here. Danville has got to figure out what they can do here to get this momentum stopped. Here, the potential for a 2-score lead is huge. Can Danville stop it?
Savini lines up deep, 2 backs to the right of Trebly after the 13-yard run from Savini. The play's blown dead.
Well, they showed a formation there. They haven't showed. That's the power eye right. I think we got a timeout.
And if it's by Cascade, that's their 2nd. That leave them with just 1 with the entire 4th quarter left to go and 4.5.
I'm not sure it might have been Danville because it was a formation I haven't seen up to date. Was it? No, they're saying I guess Cascade did call it, so that's interesting. In a game in the 3rd quarter, you've left yourself with 1 timeout. But once again, sometimes we go, not sure why they did that. Most of the time it's come out to their advantage when they've called a timeout and made sure they got everything they wanted. So not criticizing it at all.
You could look back at the end of the 2nd quarter, right? Yeah. They had to burn those 2 timeouts. They got 7 points out of it.
Yeah, it didn't hurt them at all. They know their team and what they want to accomplish a lot better than we do.
See Connor Simmons in the middle of that huddle. 6th-year head coach for the Cadets. They've won 11 of their last 12 coming into tonight. They went undefeated last year, then got upset in the sectional semifinal against Tri-West, losing late in that game 37-35. And so Cascade trying to show that 2024 was not a fluke as they carry a lot of momentum here to 2025 in week 2. Trying to take a 2-score lead here against Danville. As they initially had the power eye look once again, but Trebly was going to walk under center.
Well, the officials stop and
wonder if is it maybe because somebody subbed and they have to let the other sub, or is there?
It's a great question.
Maybe a timeout performance that is still on the field. That either way, Trebly has exited stage left to go back and talk to the Cascade sideline.
I'm not sure the head official ever blew the play to start. He's got to blow his whistle to start the play after a timeout, and I don't think he ever did. And so I think that's why they stopped. To your point, if they need to make Danville wants a substitution here. I haven't seen a substitution, but I think it's just a matter as Cascade went up there to get the play started, and the official never started the play.
The other notion that's popped into my head is maybe Cascade didn't take the full amount of time for the timeout. Did they come back too early? But either way, it doesn't matter because
I don't know.
They walk out.
Good question.
And there's the power eye look once again. Savini over the right side. He gets stonewalled right after he crossed the 5. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Cascade loves formations that mathematically give them advantage in the blocking. They'll overload with linemen. They'll overload with backs. That's the power eye right. You got 2 lead backs in front of the ball carrier. They just absolutely, when they can overpower a person or a side, that's what they really like to do. Clock's running now.
Saying for a team that touts their no-huddle ability, they have huddled up a decent amount here on this drive.
Yeah, they really have. They kind of slowed the game down a little bit.
Hand off to Mink, fullback, powering his way in, had the big 41-yard run on the drive, And they say he got in? No, he'll be a
not.
whisker short. It'll be 3rd and goal from about the 1-inch line.
Meek just pounds a leg. Didn't quite cross the line. Neither line judge said he was in, so he's inches now from the end zone. 3rd and goal. You got 2 of them here. Well, you want to get it here if you're Cascade, because you probably think maybe field goal. You don't want to come away here empty-handed. 3rd and goal. Huge defensive stop needed for Danville at a minimum. Try to force forward. Let's see what happens here, Rick.
Trebley under center. Over the right side. Has 1 rushing touchdown tonight. Did he cross the plane? He did. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for Brady Trebley. And it's a 2-score game for Cascade.
I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at this or not. Here it is. Now look what Trebley does. See, they anticipate him going right over center, and he throws a little curve to it where he quickly goes in the gap and had some momentum. He only needed just inches. Touchdown, Cascade.
A 6-play, 76-yard drive for the Cascade offense that took 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And the extra point is up and good. And number 5, Cascade, now leads 28-17 here over Danville.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Special thanks to Endeavor for their sponsorship of bringing you Indiana high school football tonight as Danville awaits this kickoff here. Again, Cascade scoring on a 6-play drive. The big play on that drive was Dayton Mink's 41-yard run where he took it down to the Danville 19-yard line, and then Trebley powered it in from 1 yard out.
Yeah, what a run, too. It wasn't like he wasn't touched. In fact, he was touched up to 4 times. And just a mental, tough kid that refuses to go down. That's the difference between good and great in high school football.
A squib kick that will roll out of bounds. Nicely read by Trevor Lynch, and this will be good field position here for Danville, and the kick out of bounds by Brogan Trump.
Well, there's no question now, Rick. Danville's got their work cut out for them. Still in this game, still tons of time. And this is where your seniors and your leaders really come into play in high school football, is they can mentally help their cause by all the juniors, sophomores, freshmen coaching them up, right? Guys, we're going to win this. Keep their heads up. Keep them focused. Execute. You have tons of time. That's when you find out how good your leaders are on a ball club, when they can help you as coaching staff keep all your young people focused.
Dayton Hood, the backup running back, starts this series behind Ward. Straight drop back, looking across the middle, fires, and it's intercepted.
Oh, wow.
Picked off by Mason Dixon, and he's planted from behind by Liam O'Brien, but Dixon steps in front, and the first takeaway of the night goes to Cascade.
Dixon we talked about in the first half, Rick, about your eyes playing defense. Let's watch where his helmet and his eyes were. He's reading football the whole way, and when you read on a football, that's when you make a good cut. Take a look how he makes a cut here, because it looks open to the quarterback. Now watch his eyes. Watch his eyes. He knows exactly where that football is, and that's when he makes his cut, because he knew when to break on the football when it was thrown. Ball was a little low, but still, that was a well-played defensive secondary. Kept his eyes on it, knew when to make the cut and the break. Interception, big turnover.
Some people talk about going below the Mason-Dixon line. Dixon undercut that pass. And the sophomore backup safety picks off his second pass of his career. And now can Cascade cash in here on the first takeaway? Going for it all is Cascade, and a throw will end up in the end zone. Hobson was there running. Trebley underthrew him by just a smidge.
Pretty good defense by Heckelman, step for step with him the whole way. Ball a little overthrown, so little contact. Official goes, that's fine. Nobody got an advantage with their arms. Good no call there.
Do you like going for it all there on that first play there for Cascade?
I do, because what's the worst thing that happened to a ball club that just turned the ball over? Come back and make the next play. You're not mentally focused. So you're going to find out if they're focused or they're not. You're trying to catch them if they are sleeping, and they weren't, but there was a chance they may have been because of the turnover.
Farmer, the motion man. Oh, some trickeration and meaning to hand it off to Mink was Trebley. He saw Danville crashing forward, and he wisely kept it himself and was able to take a positive gain there. Check out this.
See, that's a design play where he can either keep it in or pull it out. You know, in high school, you have to have a short memory in football and in basketball and a lot of other sports. And sometimes you try to find, are they still thinking about that turnover? But as a player, you got to let it go, because you got to immediately get refocused to the next play, or you'll make two mistakes.
Ajibade was the one that forced Trebley to kick it himself. He'll to zone read, and no, Trebley just running untouched until he gets planted by Hackelman and around the 10. But Trebley shot out of a cannon, and it's goal to go once again.
Yeah, there's that dual threat. We've highlighted it all game long. There's the fake, and then he just went to the races.
25 yards on the gallop from Trebley, who has 2 rushing touchdowns each from a yard out tonight. But that one, he was just gliding towards the crimson-colored end zone.
He only had 39 yards rushing last week, and he had that almost on that play.
Cascade trying to take that takeaway and turn it into points. Trebley right up the middle. As Ajibade holding on there, but another positive gain down to the 6 or 7.
Well, Brady Trebley on the keeper. Tackle made by 97, Alex Ajibade.
Clock's running, and this is a case where Cascade's going to be in zero hurry. But with a $1:23, they're very content to just let this clock tick away, and then if they can add another touchdown by the clock moving, man, you don't get any better than that if you're a Cascade fan. Danville's got to suck it up here. They got to get a stop. Got to find the ball.
Mink ripped down.
Good play. There you go.
By Ajibade. Ajibade, a third-string defensive lineman for Danville, has made a real impact here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Ajibade, just a sophomore. He's a good-looking young man. He's 5'11", 245, but he showed he's got some strength and move right there. Good job by the sophomore.
You can see him with those blue or purple gloves right in the middle of your field, 97 in crimson. No gain on the Mink touch. And a whole bunch of movement up front. Trebley spins, pitched it off to the wingback Farmer, who got to the goal line.
He's already in.
And that ball crossed the plane for Luke Farmer. The junior wide receiver has been more of a wingback here in this third quarter, and he scores.
That one hurts. That one hurts for against Danville. Take a look at execution. Has been really good for Cascade in the second half. They've now really kind of taken this game over. Adding that, the turnover by Danville was catastrophic. But listen, it's only then as bad as what you do with the ball, and Cascade just put a cherry on the sundae by scoring a touchdown off the turnover. Listen, a whole quarter to go. Danville still got a shot to get back in this thing to see if they can do it.
I take it back. It wasn't Trebley that handed it off. He handed it off to Savini, who then flipped it forward to Farmer coming from the wingback spot. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're watching the magician on the side of the street moving the 3 cups around. You got to find where the ball is. That's kind of what Cascade's doing with the ball here offensively.
Well, he's that good as a quarterback. When you've been doing this for 4 years, it's not shy of automatic. It is automatic. And you do the little things just the little extra things, because you know what works with all the experience he's had in 4 years. He knows what that defense can't see.
Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory.
Man, look at the crowd. Hendricks County is loving their football tonight. This place is absolutely jam-packed, the way it should be. Gorgeous night. 2 really good coaches, 2 really good teams. Listen, this is only game 2, regardless who wins or loses, but it's a step that you always want to take. You certainly love to come away with your victory, either team.
Trump boots it away, keeps this one in the field of play this time. O'Brien the up back, able to get a couple of yards out to the 30, and then he's pushed back aggressively by Delton Howery and a couple others. So with 15 seconds left to go in the third, Danville will get the ball back.
And they're going to get it back, and let's see what mental frame they're in right now. They turned it over. Defense gives up a touchdown. You got it. Well, I talked about having short memory. More now than ever. They have got to get super laser focused, and if they want this game, they got to figure out how to get in the end zone.
Tonight's game brought to you by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. 1st and 10 from their own 30 for Danville and Ward. Throw outside. O'Brien with the catch. Kaiser cut it back in, tripped up by Savini. Danville hurrying up here.
I think you should. You got some multiple scores. You got 1 quarter to go. Every second you got the ball on offense, you got to be productive.
That'll be the final play of the third quarter. Cascade comes out. They led by 4 at the break. They now lead by 18 as we head to the final quarter of play. And tonight's game brought to you by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Danville starts with the ball 2nd and 6 from their own 34. They got outscored 14-0 in that third quarter. The interception by Mason Dixon was a killer. Snap back to Carter Ward, and he gets hit in the backfield, rolls away from Turner. Now running away from pressure, he'll tuck it and run and makes a little something out of nothing. It'll be a gain of a couple. You see a flag on the play there, but T.J. Turner came in and a man untouched and almost was able to plant Ward for a sack.
Boy, he saved a huge sack that time because he took a shot but didn't go down. Give him credit and was able to get a few yards out of it. That clearly looked like it was going to be a sack. See what we got here. The flag was kind of at the end of the play, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. You can see in the upper right corner of your screen the Cascade student section signaling that it.
I think they got Danville for holdings. What I think.
A long discussion.
Let's see if I'm right.
Going on with Mark Hopper and one of his officiating mates.
I think they got holding on the outside. Let's see if I'm right. Holding. Oh, the other team. I didn't know because he pointed the holding sign at somebody, and they said that Cascade was the victim. So that's a huge play for Danville. Let's see if you can take advantage of that. He immediately, right at the end of that play, the side official showed a holding sign, but he didn't point to whichever team.
So that's from the spot of the foul, 10 yards, and so move it up to the 45. A break for Danville, 10 seconds into the fourth.
Huge break.
Hood, the running back behind Ward. Deep drop all night to throw, and he uncorks. He's got a man deep, and
underthrew him.
It's off the belly of O'Brien. Hobson was the one defending for Cascade, and Danville was that close, Jan, to get a big play.
He underthrew him. He threw this ball a country mile, but look, he's wide open, but has to stop and come back for the ball, and the defender was able to get a hand on it because the ball was just a little underthrown. That could have been dangerous to Boyd. It was right there, too. He threw that ball a country mile, but just the defender made a little bit of enough of a play to knock it down.
Vu, first handoff here in a while, out to the 49. Slowed by Lewis, along with Brody Duncan and Menardo. And Bentley McClellan in there as well.
Menvu on the carry for your
You and I will be at Carmel next week. Right now, the Carmel Greyhounds leading Westfield Shamrocks 20-0 at halftime. We'll see how Westfield, what they do in the second half, but you and I will be at Carmel next week.
That'll be an interstate matchup as they welcome in the Centerville Elks from Ohio.
Yep, should be a good one.
To Carmel next week. A little out route here, caught by Trevor Lynch. Nice hookup into Cascade territory. That'll be close to the first down.
Kevin Wright back at the helm for the Greyhounds. Had a huge win over Fishers last week.
Be just short, be 4th and 2. And Danville's got to go for it. You're down by 3 scores.
Got to. I won't call it the play of the game, but it's certainly a big one right here. Got to stay on the field offensively.
4 wide. Cascade brings pressure, throw into pressure. Oh, nice catch on the outside for Liam O'Brien, and a nice catch and run for the senior wearing 0.
How big was that, Rick?
Big.
Boy, he just stood back in that pocket and let her fly. Great concentration by that receiver to make sure he looks that ball in his hand. Ward really impressive on that throw.
22 yards on the catch and run, and that was after O'Brien almost had that deep pass on the first play of the fourth quarter. Vu shimmies his way up the middle, runs into T.J. Turner along with Luke Farmer, and they stop his progress almost immediately. Gain of a couple to the 23.
Well, you hate to call this a must, but you kind of got to feel Danville's got to score, don't you? They've got to figure out a way to complete this drive and get points. Something. They got to come away with something points-wise.
10.5 and winding here in the fourth. Remember, Cascade only has 1 timeout left. Throw to the outside. Going up to get that one, Shipley, as he spins his way inside the 19, taken down by Langley.
That's where the big lengthy guy comes into play. Throw it up there where only he can get it. That's a 2 or 3, 4 yard play. Boy, you kind of got to think they could use that a little more often than they do because it's such a mismatch out there.
3rd down, 4 yards to go from the Cascade 19. Ward in the hurry up, out route, tough pass, it's bobbled as he wanted to find Lynch. Breaking it up was Langley, but there were 2 guys around Lynch.
I tell you, that ball, a receiver coach is going to say, young man, you probably need to catch this. And look how well this ball is thrown. He literally sells it by the defender. Now, what may have happened is the defender blocks his view, and that's very possible, but that was a well-thrown ball.
However, he threw that arm up, or hand up there at the last moment.
Very could have caused his not to be able to see the ball.
Big play here, 4th and 4. Feels like a must-score for Danville.
I think so. Well, at least the first down.
And Danville will take their first timeout here of the second half.
This is a must first down. It really is.
This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. 2 timeouts remain here for Danville. They have not scored, Jan, since late in that second quarter with 3:48 left. They took a 17-14 lead on that Dayton Hood run, and they have been scoreless since.
Well, Cascade really came out at halftime and I thought played incredibly well. No doubt the turnover by Danville was an absolute critical play. Still tons of time here. As a player, as coaches, we've got to feel like we can win. It's all about making plays now. Seniors, Danville, you got to make some plays.
10 minutes to go, 4th and 4. Danville, play action, has a man wide open, and that'll work.
I rest my case. You got to believe. And I'm telling you, this coach for Danville believes more like anybody. He's one intense guy, and I love every second of it. And that team executed, and this game is not over, my friends.
We have not called Drew Rector's name a lot. He gets the 19-yard catch, and we asked Coach Comer, how do you get Rector the ball more? Last week, 2 catches in the whole game, 71 yards to the house, 70 yards to the house. His first catch, a big one here, now they go for 2.
If I remember right, that was your question, and he rewarded you with that. He goes, yeah, but I don't going to tell you exactly how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But you're right, but I'm not going to tell you how we're going to do it either.
Going for two. Danville up to Vu, right up the middle, and he goes almost untouched.
2-score game, my friend. I like it.
35-23. Danville was shut out in the third quarter, and they get a big-time score to start the fourth.
Let's give kudos to the front line of Danville. We give some love to Cascade's front line. Danville's front line had to execute on this drive or this game's over, and they did not disappoint.
A 9-play drive that goes 70 yards and takes about 2 minutes and about 20 seconds off of the clock that spans the end of the third and the start of the fourth. So
now,
Danville
Cascade,
right back in it.
Sorry, Rick. Cascade has a 10-point lead, but this next drive is going to be super important. Can they stay on the field?
It had been 21 unanswered points by Cascade. Remember, they scored at the end of the second quarter. Both teams turned it over on downs to start the third, and then it was all Cascade to close out that third stanza. Still plenty of time left as well.
They need to have a good kickoff here. The best thing they can do is field position when the clock starts to become your enemy. Get this kickoff back. Force Cascade to start deep. Then give them the defense. Stop them. Get the ball back offensively in good field position. Those are a lot of ifs, but if they can do that, they got a shot.
And there is 9:56 left, plenty of time, but also remember, there's only one dot up there for a Cascade timeout, so that's a big thing for the Cadets as well. Evan Beck boots her away, and he does exactly what Jan wanted. He kicks this one deep. A little bit of a slow return here for Marcus Hobson, but he eventually takes it out across the 25 to maybe the 26, and good to see Hobson get back up. It's a little bit slow to get to his feet. And now the Cascade offense comes out. Their lead cut down to 10 here with 9:50 remaining in our final stanza.
Well, you hear coaches talk about we have to be crisp in all facets of the game. The kicking team for Danville did their job. Where they got the ball, where they made the tackle is absolutely pretty good. You know, actually it's real good in high school if you can keep your opponent to starting on the 27. Now, this defense for Danville has got to make stops. If you're a Danville fan, look for them to really rush the football. On Cascade, they've got to execute. First down will be key for Cascade. Can you get 3 to 4 yards on first down?
Hand off to Mink, the fullback. He's able to get out to the 30. Malachi Lane, one of the first ones to hit him, along with Prather, the top two tacklers for Danville.
Rick, if you can get 3 to 4 yards on first down, it opens your playbook up a little more. You're not so squished. So that's why always for me, first down is such a huge down, especially when you're getting the fourth quarter, tight game. First down is so key to get 3 to 4 yards because it really kind of relaxes your playbook a little bit.
Quickly, how underrated do you think Mink's play, how big has Mink's play been tonight? He had the big 41-yard run, but he's been really key, particularly on first down.
Let me tell you something. We're a lot of ifs right now, but if Cascade holds on to win, he's player of the game. But it's not over with yet.
Farmer in motion. They give it to the bell cow Mink, and just like Jan mentioned, he gets 3 or 4 more yards again. This time it's 3 up to the 33-yard line, and Cascade more than happy to go away from their normal no-huddle up-tempo offense. They're bleeding this clock as far down as they can take it.
Because there's only one yellow dot next to – there's 2 dots next to Danville, 1 next to Cascade. So Danville does have a couple timeouts. But to your point, Cascade's going to let this clock run down and the play clock run down as much as they possibly can to eat this clock.
8.5 left to go in the fourth quarter. Clock winds on a 3rd down and 4 here for Cascade. They pull it out of Mink's hands, and Trebley will keep it himself. He gets stretched out and spun down. And guess who? Porter Prather, the under-recruited outside linebacker, gets a big stop there for Danville.
You can make a case if Danville comes back that this guy's name would be mentioned for player of the game because he has been spectacular. He's everything that coach told us he is and more. His pursuit angles, his strength have all been on exhibition today.
Shed the block of Savini, then went and able to tackle Trebley after a little miscommunication in the back.
How big is this?
Yep.
4th down. What are you going to do, Cascade?
Looks like they're going to punt, and they're going to have to – Cascade's going to have to burn their last time out.
Oh, my.
Luke Farmer stepped out and found his head coach Connor Simmons, and another substitution error for Cascade. They've had to burn 3 of their total 6 timeouts on substitution errors tonight.
You win, you don't worry about it. You lose, you go, that wasn't good. But you'll forget about it if you win.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
They're really just taunting us with all these Raising Cane ads, right? So Cascade burns their last time out with 7:41 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Gabriel Glaze comes out to punt for just the third time tonight. And remember, when he punted from this end back in the first half, he had it blocked, and that set up Danville's first touchdown to tie the game at 7 back in the first.
And he's got to erase that out of his memory. You don't want to compound a difficult punt by another one. This is huge. A lot of coaches will say more the funniest plays happen on a punt. Plus or minus.
High snap, and Glaze able to get it. And a short one that will take a Cascade bounce across midfield. And, Jan, that play could have been really, really bad. Glaze able to make something out of nothing.
I've been doing this for 32 years now, and I've seen more things go wrong on punts than you can shake a stick.
And now Danville gets the ball at their own 48. Outside of that blocked punt that we mentioned back in the first quarter, this is Danville's best starting field position of the night.
This is all about efficiency right now. On their offensive side, they got plenty of time, but you don't push, you don't panic, you're efficient, and you execute if you're Danville.
So this went 9 plays, 70 yards to get to within 10 on a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Carter Ward back at the controls for the Warriors. Screen pass near side, immediately hit was Rector. That thing was blown up from the jump by Toby Savini.
He read that one with precision. Delton Howry?
Yep, Howry. Yep, Howry in there as well, number 6.
Yep, they read that very well. What they're talking about now is don't let anything get by you.
Danville going to the hurry up here after a loss of 3. Ward pumps. Might want the double move now. Protection breaking down. Here comes Savini.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Ward will try to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is 2 tough plays for Danville to take here on 1st and 2nd down.
Nowhere to throw the football. Get rid of that thing out of bounds.
2 yards, and now it's 3rd down and 11. Good news for Danville is that Ward was able to step out of bounds and stop the clock with 7 minutes left to go.
And that's key. That's a good point because either pass it or run it out of bounds, but get that clock stopped if there's nothing there.
Shipley at the top of your screen. 5 and Crimson's had some big catches tonight here for Danville. He might need another one here on 3rd down and 11 to go. Ward rolls away from his side, sets his feet, throws a strike, and it was broken up. Farmer came diving in from that safety spot and kept it away from O'Brien, 4th and 11.
Watch the cut. We talked about this all game long. Know where the ball is with your eyes. If you do, you make a cut. Does he make a cut? Yes, and he does it absolutely at the right time because he knows where the ball is. So as a secondary player, you got to know when to make your cut because you miss that at 6.
Danville 1 for 2, or 2 for 3, on 4th down, or 3 for 4 on 4th down conversions here in the second half. They need it here with 6:53 left and down by 10.
Got to have it. Got to have this right here.
Pressure comes from Cascade. Ward gets it just off before he gets planted and leads his receiver Shipley too far. Hobson there in coverage, but a big-time blitz brought by Cascade, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and they've really not shown a lot of blitz today, and so they throw a little wrinkle in, and sometimes the timing of what you call is as important as what you call. In that time, the blitz package forced him to throw that ball, I think, a little quicker than he really wanted to.
Second turnover on downs here in the half for Danville. Fresh set of downs for Brady Trebley, the 6'3 senior quarterback, 4-year starter for the Cadets. The 5th-ranked team in Class 3A. With 6:47 left, they can try to burn all the rest of the clock here. Farmer on the give from that left wing back spot. He breaks free, now is in the open field. Big cutback for Luke Farmer. He's trying to find the end zone and put an exclamation point on the ball game, and that's exactly what he does from 47 yards out.
But there's no question the junior brought his A game today. First and foremost, go up and hug those linemen because they have really changed the complexity of this game for Cascade in the second half. But when this young man gets in the open field, he just absolutely refuses to go down. Touch right there, touched again. Makes a cut back the other side, and I'm not so sure he didn't twist an ankle going down here.
And you can see him kind of shoving his teammates away like we saw in the first quarter with Eaton Wooten of Danville. They had to help him off the field a little bit. And we heard from both teams, particularly Danville. They talked about last week, Jan, how they had a lot of guys cramping up in the second half. We saw it all over the state last week in week number 1. And so you're hoping for Farmer that was the only issue that he had there on that big-time run.
That's a backbreaker play for Cascade.
Farmer last week had 5 carries for -3 yards as Trump misses the extra point. But it's back to a 3-score game here with Danville on the wrong side of it with 6:33 left. Second time tonight that we've seen that quick strike offense from Cascade. They turned that touchdown, that interception into points pretty quickly, and one play here instead of the house.
Yeah, I think you also make the case that once again in this game, Cascade has been relatively balanced. They've ran the ball very effectively. They've passed it when they've had to. But I think their running game has really set up their passing game really, really nice today. But they played at a different level in this second half, and they've broke some big plays. Not a lot of big plays in that first half, but we certainly have had some in half number 2.
And now if you're Danville, feels like the blink of an eye. You had just cut this thing down to 10 points. You had all the momentum on your side, but then that tough turnover on downs. And they got behind the sticks so early in that drive. They were playing from behind on that last possession.
Well, 6:33, a lot of funny things can happen. And while it certainly is an uphill mountain to climb, you got to believe that you can climb it. You just do, and you got to play. You know, even if it's not necessarily for this game, and it quite honestly is, this is only game 2. So this is a mindset about, guys, we got a lot of football. We got to keep getting better regardless what the score is.
Little left-hand turn keeps that ball from going out of bounds. As Danville's Mason Shipley was there on the kickoff return. This is a Danville defense that gave up just an average of 17 points per game last year, but Cascade, for the second game in a row, Janice, broken across that 40-point plateau.
They really have offensively. They're a ball club. They averaged 46 last year. When we was talking with the coach, man, offense has not been a problem for you.
Yeah.
And 3 years in a row, they've averaged, over 40-some points a ball game. Last year, they gave up just 12. So far, they gave up 6 in game 1. And now in this one, they've given up 25. But you take a win as a win if you can get it here.
Ward rolls, pressure, forcing him back to his left, spins away from 3 different guys. Nice juke to get away from Banks Sterling, and that's a 10-plus yard run by the quarterback, Ward.
Ward, there's a lot of guys, but Ward is one of those guys who's not going to give up. He's a competitor. That's his mindset. He's still playing the game and playing it hard. Makes a big play, and you got to have more of these.
12-yard run for Ward. Appleby took him down from behind. We talked with Connor Simmons, head coach at Cascade. He said our defense is what can take us to the next level. Deep drop from Ward. Good protection. Airs it out, trying to go for the big home run play. There's a whole bunch of hand fighting and running into each other. A little one-on-one crime between Rector and Farmer. The Danville fans not happy that Rector didn't come away with a flag.
I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to see here, but it didn't look like a whole lot of contact at all. But we didn't get to see the whole thing. Sometimes from a fan's perspective, you see somebody go down, you think, well, there had to be something. Didn't really see it. I didn't see all of it, so it's hard to really tell. The official was a whole lot closer than we were.
Vu up the middle. A couple to the 42-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 on 2nd and 10.
For Ben Vu on the carry.
And Danville
by 3, Braxton Lewis.
With less than 6 to go, now hurrying up to the line. They still have to huddle up a little bit as they send 4 wide. 3-man front for Cascade. Ward moving the pocket. Hood back there to protect. Now goes back to his left. Ward with pressure from Savini. Throws on the run, incomplete. And I'll stop the clock, and it'll be 4th down and 5. Nice catch there by the Cascade coach on the sideline, too.
You know, that was that defense there was by number 4, Hobson, and he was glued on him. That's been a difference in this game to a big perspective, allowing Danville to get back in it. The secondary and linebacker core for Cascade has been really good here in half number 2, of just glued to these receivers.
Snap back to Ward. Great protection from his offensive line. Breaks free as Healy forces him on the run. Throws off of his back foot. Complete down to the 30 by Liam O'Brien. Stopped by Langley. That's a gain of 12 on 4th and 5. Nice find from Ward to O'Brien, excuse me.
Boy, this Ward is a gutsy kid. He just absolutely is either outran people. He moves around very well for his size. And he's that young man who just refuses to get caught.
Warriors hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Excellent protection. Ward all night to throw across the middle, and he wanted Rector, and it's incomplete. JT Rochon, one of the faster players for Cascade, and another one of those 4-year starters at safety, able to break up the pass.
Take a look at the in route. The ball was a little late getting there. He had already made his cut to the end zone. The ball was just a little late getting there. He had a little step on him. Don't know if he could have caught it, but the ball was just a little late getting there.
This defensive backfield for Cascade has been spectacular.
It really has.
Particularly when they've needed it tonight. Ward across the middle, in and out of the hands of it looked to be O'Brien. Rochon there. 4-year starter at safety. Hobson, 4-year starter at corner. Farmer, 3-year starter at safety. So a lot of experience in the defensive backfield for Cascade.
And you cannot really understand how valuable that is, especially in the secondary. Understanding when to make cuts, how to watch the quarterback. That just takes experience, and time is the only thing that gives experience.
Langley, 9 at the top of your screen, the new man in the group. Blitz comes in. They get home to Ward, and Savini comes in with the sack for the Cascade defense.
Well, here's the deal. That's a good – let's call it what it is. That's a good call. But listen, Cascade knows they have to throw the football. That's a huge advantage when you as a defender can take a little weight off your hands if you're a down lineman or a linebacker when you know he has to throw. So you basically you give up on the run because you know they have to throw.
A loss of 7. First sack of the second half here for Cascade. Last week they had 2 in their win over Monrovia, but Cascade, they led Jan by 4 at halftime, 21-17, but they have really shown their mettle and flexed their muscles here in the second half.
No question about it. No question about it. Danville, a 4A ball club, Cascade, a 3A, so they can't meet in postseason, obviously. But this is a county rival. They're literally, what, how many miles? Not very many miles.
Not very many. I think it's a lot shorter of a drive for Danville to have to drive this time. But they drove 3 hours down to Southern Indiana to take on Gibson Southern.
It can't be a 10, 15-minute drive max, and so this is a good rivalry. Hopefully this thing stays together for a long time. They hadn't played each other for a long time, and this is one of those special rivalry games I think that we're going to see develop through the years.
First meeting since 2018. Cascade won that game 28-21. The two teams didn't play from 2003 to 2016 after playing a lot of years in a row from the late 90s up until 2002.
This is natural. This game has to be played.
And look at the crowd size.
Yeah, I mean,
the fans are packed in there. And
these are one of those games you got to play.
4th and 17. Ward trying to draw something up here. Has protection, fires a bullet, connected, and stepping out of bounds, Liam O'Brien, the senior wideout. He and Shipley in a nice 1-2 combo with the wide receiving core tonight.
Keep playing. You never know. I'll tell you, one guy keeps playing is this Ward. Step in and threw a strike to his receiver down to the 10. You never know. You keep playing.
27 yards on the hookup right at the 10-yard line. Goal to go. And O'Brien stepped out of bounds, so the clock stops with 4:27 left to go in the fourth. Ward, pressure comes from the weak side, and he's spun down and dropped. Turner in on the sack.
Yeah, he comes from the backside there. They threw that backside blitz. Here he comes. Really, nobody touches him. All the years I played football on defense, I don't think ever did somebody not touch me. I never got the luxury of somebody forgetting to block me.
It's a 4-yard loss. Ward, able to get some of that back as he makes his way down to the 9. Ward, as we mentioned, was a wide receiver, starting wide receiver, freshman and sophomore year, but then injuries to Connor Soper in both those years thrust him in to the quarterback spot. This year he's been able to just focus on being the starting quarterback heading into his junior year, but he's showing off a lot of ability with his arm and his legs.
He is, and I got to think the fact that he's played receiver I got to think that's got to be somewhat of a benefit to understand what a receiver wants, how he wants it, where he wants the ball. Listen, he's played well. He's a very solid quarterback. Game number 2 is all this is.
Nice pass, complete out to Lynch on an out route at the 5, was tackled inbounds by Rochong, and Langley was in there in coverage as well. So the clock winds, and it's 4th and goal to go here for Danville in a must-score situation.
Clock continues at 3:40, 3:39 and running.
And Danville's got the play coming in from the sideline, so Ward has to call it out quickly and then hurry up with less than 3.5 remaining here in quarter number 4. The lone setback is Vu behind Ward in the pistol. Looks to his left. Here comes pressure again, and Savini gets home again, his 2nd sack of the drive and the 3rd one of this possession for the Cascade defense. A turnover on downs.
Wow. They just weren't able to get it in. Now, obviously, I said it before, as a defense, you have the luxury of understanding they have to pass, so you're throwing the kitchen sink at them. Some good things happen in that drive, but I'm sure one of the things they're going to talk about this week is finishing drives, too. A couple times now they've gotten down here and have nothing to show for it.
And a turnover on downs. They got all the way to the Cascade 27-yard line. Danville did on their first drive of the 3rd quarter, as they really were the beneficiary of a couple of Cascade penalties, moved the ball beautifully. Then they had the interception. They came back and got that touchdown to start the 4th quarter. And after forcing a punt, they had a turnover on downs after decent field position right near midfield, but couldn't do anything with it. 3:09 left here for Cascade. You see the timeouts there on your screen. Cascade with none. Danville can stop the clock once, as the Cadets huddle up here. Wing T offense has been on full display tonight. Last week, the Cadet offense rushed for 256 yards. That's an average of almost 7 yards per carry. They had over 450 yards of total offense, been a little bit more balanced, or back to the same balance. They had over 200 yards, both rushing and passing last week. And the Cascade offense has been pretty balanced here so far tonight.
It has been, and they've been very efficient. Execution has been really precise in half number 2. They brought their game up a different level in half number 2.
Trebley, a handoff to Mink, 6'1" senior fullback, who added 25 pounds to his frame from last season. That's really benefited tonight with a lot of carries up the middle.
Franklin Central wins tonight, 22 to Roncalli 15. That's somewhat of an interesting score.
Roncalli, one of the blue blood programs in Central Indiana.
Carmel 34, Westfield 10 with 3 minutes to go in the game. That's an ISC game tonight. Greg Rakestraw and
who's that?
Lance Scheib calling the game. I hear it was Brownsburg 29, Cathedral 0.
Whoa. Brownsburg not messing around.
No, they are not.
This year. Played a team out of Maryland, I believe, last week, as Savini there on the carry. And the Bulldogs from the west side of Indianapolis. You want to go find a team that's got guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays, Brownsburg is your bunch. Those guys are loaded.
Good. They are really loaded.
Farmer on the carry. And the big touchdown run to put this thing on ice here tonight. It'll be 3rd down and 8. The clock, the friend of Cascade, as we dip below 2 minutes here to go in the 4th.
It is.
Trebley keeps it himself. He's tackled in the backfield by Trenton Sharkey.
Another big score, New Pal 28, Decatur Central 6. Now, if you have not heard, Decatur Central lost their quarterback, and that was a big blow in that loss they had to Avon. A lot of expectation there, but losing your star quarterback's not a good thing. They think he has a shot to be back during the tournament. We'll see. That's a tough break.
Now we'll step aside for this quick message from our friends at LiUNA.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LiUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LiUNA.
And Jan, correct me if I'm wrong, which I am most of my life, but New Pal moved up in class this year, I believe, correct? And so but those guys just keep rolling along, even though
I don't think New Pal's so used to moving up. It's like it's kind of like Christmas. They know it's coming every other year. New Pal is solid. They're loaded, so well coached, and they've got a culture like none other, and they love their football. Let me tell you, if you haven't seen a game of New Pal, it's something special.
Glaze almost has that punt blocked, able to get it away. Takes a Danville bounce. Touchdown to bounds with 97 seconds left. So Cascade's going to move to 2-0 on the year. They're going to win 12 out of their last 13 games dating back to last season. Danville sees two of the better teams in Class 3A. Number 3 Gibson Southern last week. Number 5 Cascade this week. They come up 0-2. This game was a little bit closer, I think, than this final score is going to show. They had got it down to 10 like we had mentioned.
A couple big plays really broke their back. They were right there to get this thing down to a 1-score, 2-score minimum. And then the turnover, the pass interception was just the game changer. And because Cascade took that turnover and turned it into a score. So that was really, really it's not – I've never been that believer that one play, makes a football. It certainly can have an effect on it.
Danville trying to get a couple more plays here as Hood there on the reception. He's gotten a lot of work tonight. Again, want to wish the best to Ethan Wooten. Caught that touchdown in the first quarter to tie the game at 7 for Danville. Hurt his leg on that play as a flag is thrown here on the 2nd and 18 play. Hope the best for him. He made a heck of a catch in the end zone and then was able to walk off under his own power, but again, has not come back into the game since. That's kind of changed things here for Danville, getting Hood some more spots in the running back spot.
Well, Danville will travel to Anderson. Anderson they lost their opener this year, so they've got 4 out of the first 6 game on the road. That's quite the task. They being Danville.
As Ward goes down, he'll just have to eat that for a sack.
Did you have North Putnam last week? Did you tell me?
I did against South Putnam.
That's who Cascade. They travel to North Putnam next week.
And they're going to see their second field in a row that's been newly refinished. Brand new turf down over there at North Putnam.
Yeah.
Just north in Roachdale, just north of Greencastle.
You look at how big this game was. I kind of brought this up to Cascade today. On their schedule, clearly this will be one of their bigger games. Crawfordsville off to a decent start. Southmont's pretty good. I don't think they're this level. So this was a real challenge for them on the road. Rivalry game, and they have really executed well.
Holding on Danville stops the clock with 21 seconds left to go in this one.
I think our crew's
been great tonight. Sean Sullivan at the controls.
A+ as always. Great replays, camera work, everything everybody does here at IC is first class. We get to just sit here and call games. Doesn't seem fair.
They pay us for this, right? Allegedly?
We hope so. If not, we'll sit and watch the commercials over and over.
Adam Clendenning, our graphics man tonight. Yes. Elijah Mash at the controls, at the camera over there at Danville.
I can't say. I've been doing this for a while with the ISC, and they're just the greatest people ever to work with. They just are.
Ward a pass across the middle. One in Rector, and he got popped by Farmer. And that will stop the clock with 16 seconds left.
Well, Danville's going to look at their record, and 0-2. But what they can't do is just sit there and look at their record that's 0-2. It's to open 2 games against 2 really, really good opponents. The big picture and the beautiful picture for Indiana is everybody goes to the playoffs. So what they got to figure out is how to get better. That's at the end of the day, they played 2 really good opponents. They came away not what they wanted. They didn't play bad, but they got to fix some things. They got to finish drives, stay on the field a little bit longer. Some of those things are fixable things. I firmly believe Danville has the talent to turn this thing around. I really think that.
Turnover on downs as Cascade and Brady Trebley
it's going to do it.
Comes back, and it's back-to-back wins for Cascade against Danville. They won in 2018. They win tonight. Danville had gone 20-0 in the previous 20 meetings. As we shift to our post-game show, tonight's game has been brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Find out more at weendeavor.com. The proud members of the Indiana Labor's District Council and affiliate local units who build Indiana, we are LiUNA. And Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. So moving to our post-game show, Jan, our player of the game tonight, the quarterback for Cascade, Brady Trebley, had 2 rushing touchdowns and a couple passing touchdowns as well. The senior was flat out phenomenal.
Yeah, but you know, with a lot of expectation lies a lot of responsibility, and he is not afraid to put that on his shoulders. He clearly is a team leader. Listen, there are a lot of other guys who played incredibly well. You talk about Savini, Meek, you go down the line, Dixon, Farmer. How good did Farmer play tonight? You know, he'll get a lot of props, and he should. He's got a lot of responsibility, but listen, he's got a really good team around him, and you cannot leave this game without applauding that front 5, because I thought they were the difference in the second half. I really believe that.
Seti, White, Appleby, Duncan, and Menardo, the Cascade offensive line. Trebley 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 through the air here tonight as Cascade comes away with a 41-25 win over Danville tonight. Again, special thanks to our crew, Director Sean Walker, Graphics Adam Clendenning, and camera operator Elijah Mash. For our analyst, the great Jan Bozier, my name is Rick Johnson. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight to tonight's presentation of Indiana High School football here on the ISC Sports Network tonight, presented by Endeavor Communications.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real.